Anybody heard from Ashton?
Yeah, he told me that he just got on the JCPS bus. So 24 hours, 30 hours, should be here.
Yeah, he was excited to ride that short bus. Let's go.
Now we can talk like men.
Welcome back into the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast. This thing is episode 8 of the series. I'm Justin Sofro. Accompanying me today, Dwight Young and Brian Powell. We're going to talk like men. We're going to talk some subjects that we care about. Obviously, this is a Louisville, Kentucky podcast. We get into Louisville topics. We get into Kentucky topics. And when I say that, I also mean Wildcats, Cardinals, as well as some other things. Drink some bourbon. Dwight, I believe, has provided us with some really interesting snackage that we're going to get into, as well as we've got some local interesting topics and, of course, our draft that we're going to get into. And it is USA, 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 USA. I was like, is Brian going to catch on? Is he going to do this thing? Or is he just going to sit there with his thumb up his ass? All right. America. Just to open this up, there's been some massive news that's been breaking out when it comes to not just here locally, but really the entire landscape of college sports. Obviously, when it comes to today's main topic, we're going to get into college football. But right now, we really need to hit on the biggest topic when it comes to college sports, which is conference realignment. I think, honestly,
the Pac-12 is dead.
Yeah,
can we just say it? It's dead.
Well, it is dead. Well, that's, I guess, the best way that I was going to put it, because I was looking at it and I'm like, it's really not conference realignment. It's conference death.
Yeah.
It's conference
murder.
Yeah. We've seen the murdering.
Shrinkage. It is conference shrinkage.
Yeah. So just some background information when it comes to the Pac-12, obviously, is being rated started out by the Big Ten, then the Big 12. Potentially others could come in the coming days, weeks. We will see. But as it starts out right now, Oregon and Washington are leaving for the Big Ten, which I was kind of, not shocked, but Big Ten making their moves, putting it on the table and getting things done, as they've already gotten UCLA and USC from the conference. And then you have shortly after, because you got some decently big teams, Utah has played in the college football playoffs, obviously, in there, as well as you've got other teams, Arizona State, I don't know what Arizona, I mean, they bring something, but Arizona State, you got a party school.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun going there.
Yeah. No money.
Which leaves our remaining 4 teams, Oregon State, Washington State, Stanford, and Cal. In the recent days, there have been rumors about potential of the ACC signing Cal and Stanford. That one has yet to come to fruition. There's been talks, I think, even as recently as last night. But there were some stumbling blocks there, or maybe not everybody's fully on board with adding them. Mm-hmm. What are your all thoughts and opinions? Obviously, when it comes, this may affect Brian and me more, being Louisville fans, right, and the ACC and the conference shakeup that's been happening. While being Kentucky and being in the SEC, you don't really have to worry right now. I
mean, I want to hear from you guys first, because as you mentioned, being in the SEC, if you're in the SEC or if you're in the Big Ten, you can sit back and you're safe, right? So you can have your opinions on whether this is good for college sports or not. But when you're a fan of a team that's in one of those two conferences, you have a little bit less pressure. So I'd like to hear what you guys think. I mean, obviously, you all are targeting, you as in the ACC are targeting 2 of the remaining Pac-12 schools, but is that going to be enough? Because you're already hearing talks of like Florida State, Clemson being, looking at other suitors. So I'm curious as what you guys are thinking.
Florida State's an interesting one because they've just been trying to hoard themselves out to anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's mostly the SEC,
and I think they would be a good fit. As much as I hate to say that, they seem like they would be a SEC fit. They
would fit, but I just wonder, will Florida go along with it, or would they be happy about it? Kind of like in the past when we talked about Louisville, if the SEC wanted to add Louisville, would Kentucky be okay with it? Would Florida be okay with it, with adding the Florida State? I don't know how much if the other teams could supersede them and just kind of say, we want Florida State. We're going to get Florida State in there.
I do think Florida State, regardless of the success or the lack thereof in the past few years, they are a brand, right? So you're still getting a big brand that you have a good fan base. I think they would fit well with the SEC. Obviously, they may not, dominate, but I think they would be a good fit. I would welcome them. I think I would rather have Florida State probably than Clemson, personally.
Why?
I would love both, but I just think that Florida State is a bigger brand long term. I think they have more history than Clemson. I think Clemson is a more recent up and coming powerhouse in football. And I think that they're going to be on the decline now that NIL is a big factor, because Dabo has been very much against NIL, and he's kind of on he's got that old school mentality of players shouldn't be paid. They should just be happy to play in front of you, great fans, that kind of mindset. Yeah. So I don't see Clemson working out long term. I think Florida State would be a better fit for the SEC, but I'll take both. I'll take everybody other than, I don't know, some people I don't like.
We'll see if that ends up happening. I know, obviously, I think Swanky came out and kind of said, he's like, we're not really making a move right now. We're not in a hurry to really make any moves, and which makes sense. But also, I think it really has to do with that ACC grant of rights because it runs for so long that really those would be the two schools they're really interested in. So they'd be waiting a long time before that would come to fruition or would be able to happen.
Yeah. I've resigned myself to the fact that this is going to happen. Like it is just going to happen. But I think that was it Missouri's coach that kind of went viral for his speech on it this past week, where he made a really good point that I never thought of. Is
Drinkwitz?
I can't remember. I don't know his name, but I just remember him basically saying like, this is so bad for the student athlete. Like if you're thinking of the volleyball player or the softball player or the soccer player, that
it's all the Olympic sports,
right? They're going to have to travel all across the country.
Yeah.
For these, just because of football. Football has literally dominated this entire thing. And now you've got these students who essentially, they probably went to a school because they wanted their parents to see them play. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be, because they're thinking they're going to play regionally. And now their parents aren't going to get to see them play. They're going to have to go from coast to coast to play a soccer game. And then go back the next day and go to class at 9 a.m. Like it's just not. It just doesn't feel like the best thing for the students.
Well, I'd say let's not kid ourselves. Even those lower level ones, they probably ain't going to class the next day. Like I mean, maybe it's just there's a University of Louisville and nobody goes to school. I remember a few of them would be like, we'll see, we'll go when they usually accommodate. But at the same time, like I guess as long as the school's paying for these Olympic sport teams to end up coming and being able to travel across the country, then that's okay. But if they're stuck and they have to make their own way and they're stuck on a bus traveling across the United States,
I mean, it's still time. It's still time of your life that you did not sign up for. Like you did not sign up to spend the majority of your college career traveling to play. So I do think that football has ruined it has ruined things for other sports that it just didn't factor in because of the money. Yeah. The TV rights, and it's a shame, honestly. So, I mean, that's my biggest takeaway is that it does suck for all the other sports.
As a low-level student athlete, I feel like I get to see other parts of the country that I would have never gotten to see, and I'm pumped.
But you're not, though, because you're going from literally stadium back home. You're not going to travel around, sightsee, do all these fun things. You're going there, playing a game, turning around, going home.
Yeah.
And another thing to think of is football players are playing one game a week. If you play basketball, soccer, softball, baseball, you're playing multiple games a week. So your travel is even harder.
Right.
So I just don't think that they took those things into consideration.
Less of student, more of athlete for everything.
Right.
Well, and that's kind of to me, the end game, and we're going to get there eventually. And I think it's kind of you're going to kind of look at the European model a little bit. And that's probably what's going to end up having to happen when it comes to collegiate sports, because the more and more you turn this into a business, the more and more you have the Big Ten, you have the SEC and places like that buying teams basically from all over the country. Once that happens, you're gonna, like I said, the backseat as they're already far enough in the backseat when it comes to academics. That part is just what it's gonna become is you all started this out. It's eventually become a club sport, and that's kind of what you're gonna get. Like Kentucky basketball and football will be a club of their own. And I think that's what's going to happen one day. And you can still get your degree. I'm sure they'll have some workaround with that because they kind of do that with these academies in Europe when it comes to soccer and the way they do it. So I'd imagine it would be something similar. Yeah. And maybe you're going to play. You're not playing school. You're going to play football.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, it is so different. And I'm not going to argue good or bad here, but it just feels so different from you can't even pretend this is student athletes anymore. Mm-hmm. It is athletes and then there's students. There's no student athlete anymore. It doesn't feel like.
And it's been that way for a while, but now we're finally
very clear.
This is very on the table. Yeah. This is what we get into. This is what we care about. And that, to me, I think that's okay. I think there's enough money into this and there's enough money being made off the backs of these players that, and yes, now they're making money and all that. I kind of think that's probably the way it's going to have to go. And then maybe we'll change it. I just don't know. The biggest question to me is, what does that mean long term? As long as the playoff, if it expands and you have room for these automatic qualifiers, obviously now instead of a Power 5, you have a Power 4 for now. and we'll see what happens. I don't know honestly, Jim Phillips, I don't know if he has enough strength when it comes to being a leader. I don't think right now that he's going to be able to keep the ACC together long term. And then that's the big question. Does the Big 12, because right now with the moves they've made, they went from being close to being dead themselves.
Yes.
Well, I thought the Big 12 was dead like 5 years ago.
You have to give them credit. The Big 12 went from being on the operating table, no heartbeat, to now they are one of the more fun conferences. They may not be the power conferences that the SEC and the Big 12 or Big 10 are, but they are one of the more fun ones. They got some fun teams, so they're in a very good spot. And that's what the last thing I wanted to touch on before we, transition is being a UofL fan and being in the ACC. Where are you all looking right now? Are you looking like, hey, can we hold on? Can we see if the ACC can work this out? Or are you guys already kind of in the Florida State mindset of let's find our next destination?
The more and more, personally, the more and more I look at it and I look at the situation, obviously, and I think the dream is, if for some reason SEC expanded, that would be cool. That's not going to happen. So what I would look at is the Big 12 as a viable option, because if that thing keeps going, you've got really solid basketball programs there with Kansas and Baylor. The way they've done, we'll see what happens with West Virginia. But then
you all feel like a Big 12 school to me.
It does feel like a Big 12. So Big 12, it's weird because I thought you think you're better with the ACC going, but now the Big 12, you got Cincinnati there. It's so spread out now that I think it's
Arizona,
a really solid mixture
and
of
basketball.
teams. Yeah.
You all have a very good basketball conference if that happened.
Yeah, and you'd be competitive across the landscape of those sports there. So I feel like that would be a fun one. And then with Kansas and basketball, that would be a fun game to have every year as well.
Brian, thoughts?
I remember how excited I was when UofL joined the ACC, and now I feel like it wasn't that long ago, and here we are getting ripped apart, and it's not a happy place to be at for a UofL fan, not knowing what the hell our future is going to look like. I'm just jealous of the SEC and stability and knowing that you guys won't be us.
It's funny that you say that because I didn't even think about that. It almost feels like you guys join conferences and then they die.
Right. It's like,
you leave Conference USA to the Big East, where it's like, we're in the Big East, and then it's like, the Big East. We're in the ACC. We're playing North Carolina. We're playing Duke. Oh shit! They're all leaving. So that's a point I didn't even think of. But that's funny.
Yeah,
we are the bad luck Chuck. Yeah. Instead of good luck Chuck, where you find you're the woman you're gonna marry, the guy you're gonna be whatever. Yeah. That's what we do. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, I feel like if there's ever a possibility, and they just decide let's go huge, the Big Ten, and if it's just going to become two divisions. Well, it becomes two divisions in this Big Ten and SEC. I'd love to see Louisville get into one of those.
Mm-hmm. But which one?
I think it's the SEC that I prefer. A Big Ten. I think for so much, and this is just a me thing. For so long, I felt like the Big Ten was so boring that I just back in the day.
I just
have this stigma when it comes to the Big Ten.
That's fair.
You can play Purdue.
You're gonna run the ball, punt the ball.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's gonna change. Yeah, that's gonna change, obviously. I think that, and that's what I'm personally. Even it being in the SEC again, I can sit back and just kind of watch. But one thing I am gonna miss is that conference brand of playing football, where Big 12 shootouts, no defense. Same with Big 12.
Old SEC used to be
and then like you said, Big 10 is just you're going to see a 7-3 game.
Yeah,
just a bloodbath.
Exactly, and that's why have those games. I'm not going to sit through this and watch it. But I think also just the last point, just to put a bow on it, one of the reasons that I do, like I said, with traveling around the country, going to Florida and stuff like that, seeing SEC country. Again, we talk about Kentucky is not the state of Kentucky, and then you go to the rest of the SEC, and it's a different ball game.
It is.
Because it's a lifestyle.
Yep.
These people live it and they breathe it, and it's everywhere. And I'm I love this. I love that kind of feeling. That's one reason it would be cool. It is. Because if you get to travel and go play those teams, that'd be fun.
It definitely is. And as much as I wish I could be a part of that, I think I could not be, as being a parent. Mm-hmm. The way that a lot of those fans live their lives is Bama, then God, and then family.
Yeah.
It's in that order.
It is.
It is Roll Tide. I will die for Nick Saban before I die for my wife. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if I could rise to the occasion of that type of fandom, but I think that it's true. It has been nice to see Kentucky fans kind of step up as Stoops has brought us to be more competitive, but it's not Baton Rouge. It's not Athens.
I genuinely feel like the SEC wives understand football better.
They do. They know their place.
No,
they just know.
They just know
where
where
football comes in life.
well, they grew up in these families and these organizations of like, you prep the food, you do the tailgating
Right.
stuff. We go out
Saturdays
there.
are
We
for
do
the
this.
dogs.
Yeah.
Saturdays are for the dogs.
Sundresses, all that stuff. They know
It's
what's
like
going
on
on.
Saturday, my husband's going to wake up at 7 in the morning. He's going to be barking. He's going to be grilling. That's all it is.
He's putting those spiky shoulder pads on. You know, he's painting half his face red, half it black. He's good to go. Obviously, bulldogs are a fun animal to talk about, but I think you got a different one that you really want to get us into. Moving on into the bourbon segment.
So tonight we have both the old bull and the young calf. And so we're going to get to try both of them. We're going to blind them. I think it's going to be obvious which is which, but I'm curious as to which we prefer. So we've got the George T. Stagg and we have the Stagg Jr. I'm going to talk a little bit about each bottle in a minute, but first I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of nerdy history on who George T. Stagg was. So George T. Stagg was born in Kentucky, but he actually started his whiskey career in St. Louis, where he was a whiskey salesman. So he didn't produce whiskey, but he sold it. And he actually bought the majority of his whiskey from a guy named Colonel E.H. Taylor, so who you may know. And I'm drinking Colonel E.H. Taylor right here. And Colonel E.H. Taylor, he owned and operated what was known as the OFC distillery, which stood for Old Fashioned Copper. That's where he bought all of his barrels. He would sell it. Well, E.H. Taylor, he fell on some financial hardships. So George T. Stagg then purchased OFC distillery and, began producing his own bourbon. Colonel E.H. Taylor, he hung around for a while. They did business together, but they had a falling out eventually. So Colonel E.H. Taylor, he left. And George T. Stagg, he renamed the distillery from the OFC distillery to the George T. Stagg Distillery after his own name. So a little bit of an ego. Today, we know that distillery as Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace, they like to honor all of their all of their past heroes. So George T. Stagg is one, Colonel E.H. Taylor's one, and there's a number down the line. So
I got a question.
Yep.
Colonel E.H. Taylor was colonel of what?
I'm assuming he's a Kentucky colonel, but I don't know that. That's just a guess.
I think he was a colonel during the Civil War.
Was he? It could be.
Because George T. Stagg was a captain in the Civil War.
There you
and
go.
guess what? He was on the right side of it, guys. He was in the north. So
there you go. A little added history for you guys. But
I
didn't
don't know
that.
who's watching this podcast. They may.
He was on the right side of it, guys.
He was on the winning side. We'll say he was on the winning side.
He was on
the side that I would have been on.
Yes.
Let's say that. But all right, so let's get into these two. This one here is George T. Stagg. Comes out once a year. Did not come out last year, actually. They said that the batch was tainted. Something was wrong with it. So they just held it. They're like, we don't want to put our name on something that we don't feel is great. So they took a year off, came back with this monster of a bottle, which is 138.7 proof, which is very high. I mean, we have seen older George T. Staggs, but this is on the higher end in recent years. Age statement, 15 years, 5 months. So it's been in the barrel for quite a long time. It's also part of what Buffalo Trace calls their antique collection. I mean, it's super hard to find. So you've got George T. Stagg, you've got your Sazerac 18 rye, you have Thomas H. Handy, which is also a rye. You have your
William LaRue
Weller, and you have your Eagle Rare 17 year. So those are your Buffalo Trace antique collections. These are unicorn bottles. You will never find them at retail unless you have like a hookup. Funny, quick little story. I actually got this bottle at retail at a local liquor store on New Year's Day. The liquor store put them out. People couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was like just what is going on? Turns out someone at that store made a massive mistake. They were not supposed to put those out. Man. They had a company-wide meeting. I think people got fired. Wow. So that just shows you that these are not supposed to hit the shelves. These are supposed to be like...
You got somebody fired by buying that.
Pretty much. These are supposed to be backdoor deals, like gifts to like priority customers. You never see these at retail. Retail on this was $105.
Wow.
Yeah. Realistically, secondary market, you're looking at between $900 and $1,000.
Yeah, probably.
Story about this one. This is a Stagg Jr. So they did want to put out some more stuff that had the same mash bill, had the same kind of taste profile as the Stagg, but a little bit, easier to find. It's certainly younger. There's no age statement, but it's thought to be between 7 and 9 years old. Proof on this one is 128.7. So, exactly 10 points lower than this one. This is the last junior. So if you can see here, that has a little junior right there on the last G. So this is batch 17. Now, when Stagg Jr. turned 18, when it could smoke cigs and it could vote, it lost the junior. Now it's a grown ass man. They just call it Stagg now.
Is that why they did that? For real?
Yeah. When it turned 18.
Wow.
Yeah. So they took the junior. Now it's just called Stagg. This one retails about $70, and you would see it for about $250 on secondary market. So, a quarter of the price of the George T. Stagg. So we're going to find out today which we prefer, and is the George T. Stagg really worth 4 times what the junior's worth? So let's dig into it. Let's start with the one with nothing on the bottom. We have.
This smells delicious.
It does. For being a high proof, I think it's inviting. Let's go ahead.
Smelling, and it smells strong, but I don't smell the heat. I smell Sharpie marker.
Maybe more dry erase. No, I'm actually being serious, because there's a specific Sharpie smell.
You're making fun of me.
No, I'm actually being serious. Like, there's a Sharpie smell.
I kind of get you.
And then there's more of a dry erase, which has that little bit of
I'm gonna stick with Sharpie.
A flakiness.
So I did taste a little bit first. So I'm getting like a cherry cola note on this. I don't know if you guys are getting that at all.
Put that in my head. Because you said it, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah."
For being higher proof, this is smooth.
It is.
It's very smooth.
128.7 is very high proof.
The
E.H. Taylor
that you gave me to prep me, because I'm a little bitch boy.
And
this one hit way harder than this does.
And sometimes that happens, even though it's a lower proof. If it's harsher, it may just not be as good of a pour. So
yeah, you gave me a bad pour.
I'm getting like vanilla custard, brown sugar.
Brown sugar, solid.
I think the cherry cola is the standout.
Yeah, I'm getting more cherry cola. I'm getting like Brian said, the marker smell.
Like, you're seriously getting a Sharpie?
The taste doesn't taste like it, but the smell, yeah, oh yeah.
That you went to vanilla custard is very specific. Instead of just like a vanilla.
Honestly, I would say cherry cola, obviously, but I almost think it's like one of those cherry cola vanilla. Like, you've got the cherry cola Coke flavors going on here.
Yeah.
But it's very well balanced. It doesn't come across as like,
it's not hot,
artificial. It doesn't come across as artificial flavors.
No, it's I can taste the value. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, there's certain ones that I'm like, okay, this just seems like another bourbon.
All right, I gotta jump this other one, because otherwise I'm gonna drink all this.
Yeah,
I want to compare.
But that I can tell the proof that I like it. Okay,
and it has a good finish. I think it still has, even for me, it's a super sweet drink.
Yeah.
But even with that super sweet drink, it lingers and it still tingles a bit on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it has like a good finish too. So I think this is a very solid pour. I don't know which one it is, but
yeah.
Do you really not know which one it is?
I think I do.
Okay.
I don't know for a fact.
I don't at all.
I think I know
history with you.
You said that with their 10 off. Is that 10 lower?
10 proofs difference.
Right.
128.7, 138.7.
Okay.
Both are very
strong.
Very strong.
I feel like, yeah, okay.
So, all right, let's go and
doing this heart.
Do the heart.
All right, good deal. You might have to pour me more of this first one.
I don't know which one it is.
We're gonna find out. You're gonna pour me more.
That's fine,
because it's good.
It's very good.
The Sharpie marker is diluted in this one.
Yeah.
All right. I have thoughts, but I want to get your all's thoughts on this one. You get anything different on the nose? Like, anything jumping out as being different?
I get more of a fruit. I think I'm getting more of a fruity flavor.
It's harsher to me, actually. Whereas the first one, when I was smelling it, I couldn't smell the proof. I can smell the proof on this.
You getting like ethanol?
Yeah, it's just burning.
See, I do smell some ethanol. I do get a little ethanol here, but I get oak. I think this one seems like it has more of an oak presence than the other one, where the other one, it felt like it had more of fruit presence. This one feels like it has more of an oak presence. I could be wrong.
That's on the nose, because I'm tasting that.
I'm not telling you. I haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah, I'm tasting it.
Yeah, but I was getting more fruity, but
but
after you say oak, I can sense the oak. I haven't tasted it yet.
Don't taste the cherry cola.
I'm getting an outrageous amount of flavors here.
It's an interesting dancing of flavor. Like, I can feel it bouncing around a little bit, because I keep going to I go to it like an oak, like you said. I go to a fruit almost. I go to a little bit of a Sharpie, but I get a little bit of leather.
Yep, 100%.
A little bit of a leather.
Yep. Now, you said it perfect. This one's dancing. This one's dancing on your tongue from flavor to flavor for me. Then they're all, I feel like these are all related tastes.
Yeah.
Leather, oak, caramel, molasses, caramel, a little bit of cherry, a little bit of cherry, but mostly those darker notes are just standing out to me.
I'm getting like goosebumps almost. Like it's weird.
It's
like I don't know why, but like it's funny. The back of my head, I was about to say the hair is standing up, but I don't have any hair in the back of my head, so it's just the skin that's doing it. But because I just shaved it today, but it's it's a weird sensation. I like it.
Toffee, a lot of maple. See, usually when I get a bourbon, I can pick out 3 notes max.
Yeah, this is cool.
This one is it's like
a roulette wheel of flavor. Like it's like I don't know.
Brian, what are you thinking? You've been quiet.
Through.
Honestly, I like the first one better.
Yeah. What are you getting on the second one?
I agree that there's a bunch of different stuff, and you're putting it in my head when you're saying it. Because like I can taste all the different flavors, but I'm not like pinpointing them directly to a specific thing. When Justin said leather, I got the leather immediately. Yeah. Definitely feels more oaky than the first one. The first one's a lot more fruity, lighter. And honestly, I'm kind of confused because normally I can tell from proof, obviously, which one's which. Okay, it's easy to identify. This one, I personally want to say right now what the hell I think it is. And I think that these should make opposite sense for me. So I'm probably going to say this and it's going to be wrong. But yeah.
I think I'm with you on what I think I understand what you're saying. I think I'm feeling the same way.
Line of thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right.
The one thing I will say, that leather, I think I really like bourbons that have that leather flavoring.
100%.
Because we go back to
you like that Michter's 10.
That's my favorite bourbon yet.
Similar, different distilleries, similar taste profiles. I think the second one has a similar taste profile to that Michter's 10. Obviously, this one is a more of a blast to your palate because of the proof. Similar taste profiles, sure, 100% agree.
I would think that I would be tasting some tannic flavors with one of these, and I don't at all.
And I think that's why Buffalo Trace is so good at what they do, is they know how to age bourbon without getting that tannic oak. You know, they know how to age. They know how to age bourbon well because George C. Stagg, Eagle Rare 17, Saz 18, William LaRue Weller is like a 13-year bourbon. So, they know what they're doing. All right. So let's, I think we've talked about it. Can we all agree on quality?
Yeah, they're both good.
These are both tremendous.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't know if I can ever say anything's worth $1,000.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can ever get there. Yeah. But I'm with you. They're high value. Yeah. Regardless. Like both of them, I'd be ecstatic.
So Stagg Jr. is somewhere in the 7 to 9 year range, and George C. Stagg is 15 year 5 months.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not always 15 year 5 months. It's usually 15 years minimum. Yeah. This one just happened to be 15 years 5 months.
Gotcha.
Man, I'm with you though. I think that it's hard to say anything's worth $1,000.
Did you drink any? Look at mine. Like they're all almost so gone.
Yeah. I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna drink some more, but
I need to get a refill.
All right, so let's do this. Justin, you go first. Tell us which one you think is which one's your favorite.
Okay, I could be completely off, but I feel like the first one we had.
Instead of saying first one, say like star, no star.
Yeah. Well, heart. Just I'm gonna say no heart. See, this is weird because it's so hard to place this one for me because I almost want to say the first one, the no heart, is the Stagg Jr. And I may be completely flipping everything. But like the problem is this one feels more diluted. So I feel like a more diluted one would be Stagg Jr. But
now diluted is probably not the right call because they're both barrel proof, right?
They're both barrel proof, but there is a difference.
You know
in
what
proof.
I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So like this one,
you're saying lower proof.
But like that's why the reason I'm confused because this is the Stagg Jr. This one, the flavors, the bouncing of the flavors.
Which one? The first one we had?
Sorry, the heart. The second one. The heart had so much more flavor to it. So many more things. Yeah, to me, so many more things going on with it.
Okay.
So like to me, that sticks with one. And I don't know anything, right? Obviously, I don't know shit when it comes to bourbon. Sure. But like, I imagine that would be something that would take more time to really instill into it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it was as strong proof-wise to me. So then I feel like I should almost flip entirely what I'm saying. Yeah. But I'm just...
The most important thing, I hear exactly what you're saying and it makes sense. The most important thing is which one you like more.
Right.
Yeah. I like the second one more.
Okay.
The second one's my favorite.
Okay. Your favorite, just to be clear, your favorite's the heart? Okay.
Favorite's heart. I'm probably completely wrong on this, but I'm going to say the heart is the the George T. Stagg, and then I'm gonna
George
say
Strait, baby.
George Strait, and then I'm gonna
She
say,
was storming through the house that day.
and then I'm just gonna say Stagg Jr.
She'll be back.
is the no one. Tell me that I'm wrong.
That picture.
Am I
from
wrong?
Our honeymoon
Baby, write
that
this
night
down.
in Frisco
'Cause
Bay, said, give it away.
But literally everything I'm saying, I'm
Just give it
I'm talking
away.
myself into just flipping it.
Okay. No, all right.
You're as conflicted as I am personally. We had this first, the one without the sticker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally enjoy better than the second one with the sticker for you guys. I had to believe that this was the lower proofage at the Stagg because I don't feel the proof like I do on the second one. However, I'm wondering, because I'm not as experienced with the Stagg Jr., if the proof that I'm feeling from the Stagg is coming from the lack of age, and the George T. Stagg is a smoother, higher proof that I'm not feeling as much as the Stagg Jr. Which one do I like better? I like the first one better without a sticker. And I'm going to be upset if it's not the George T. Stagg, but I'm also be really happy because I don't own a Stagg Jr. and I'm going to go get one after tonight.
I can tell you right now, the smell, just smelling it, the second one has a lot more going on.
The smell.
So which? All right.
One?
So you said you guys are flipped on your favorite.
Yeah, we're
but
off.
What about?
So I like the first one best. I think the first one is going to be the George T. Stagg, and I think the second one's going to be the Stagg Jr. originally. Right now, I'm as conflicted as you. I feel like I should flip these, and I'm still liking the Stagg Jr. first, but I'm going to stick with my original pick. Sorry to confuse everybody.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm going to say this is the George T. Stagg, which is the first one without anything on it, and the one with the heart is the Stagg Jr.
Everything I'm saying I'm just going off of what I view as value.
I think I like having two bottles to choose from.
Makes more sense.
Yes.
All right. I'll make mine very quick. And one thing I want to make very clear is not all Stagg Juniors taste the same. Not all batches taste the same. Not all years of George T. Stagg taste the same. So
in fact, they don't. That's the point.
Yeah. So 2019, the 2019 George T. Stagg was 119 proof.
Wow.
So that was the lowest George T. Stagg. You may love Stagg Junior Batch 18. You may love Stagg Junior Batch 12. Batch 12 is my personal favorite. But anyways, just to let you know that we're doing Batch 17, and we're doing 2022. I'm not surprised by either of your all's, like, what you've been saying. I'm in Justin's camp. I think, Brian, you seem to like sweeter stuff.
Yeah, I do.
And I think that the George T. Stagg has the darker profile. So I think that the one with the heart is my favorite, and I think it is the George T. Stagg.
Okay.
If this is the one I'm wrong on, I'm going to be shocked because this is one of the ones I feel the most certain about.
Okay.
You should be happy though, right?
So I'm happy because my favorite is, I hope,
cheaper.
My favorite, I hope, is the most expensive one, but I opened it up.
But okay, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if it is, it's like, hey, to get more of what you like, it's cheaper then.
That's good for Brian. I mean, honestly, I think if you are a beginner to bourbon, not obviously, Brian, you're not a beginner, but if you like the sweeter taste profiles, if you don't like to be like shot in the mouth with darker flavors, higher proofs, Weller, see, that's why I'm not surprised. I think this Stagg Jr. is right up your alley. Now, if you were someone who is a little bit of a proof snob, you appreciate darker flavors, I think George T. Stagg's going to be your thing. But let's see. I could be wrong. I think Justin and I said George T. Stagg with the heart.
What do you know?
And there you go. There you go. All right. I'm glad that we didn't get that wrong. What? Oh, I thought you were going to say, let's get that taste back in your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Buddy boy.
Buddy boy.
All right. Well, that was good. I mean, I love both of these, but I do think the George T. Stagg is special.
Did you like the taste in your mouth? Let's get that taste back in our mouth.
All right. Well, that was fun.
This one is probably one of my favorites. This is at least my second favorite that we've done. And I feel like it's been the most insightful. The one-on-one, the comparison of one-on-one does wonders for me. I love doing multiple, but it just almost confuses the palate for me.
Makes sense.
This also just had, I'm growing to realize if I get a flavor of leather, Like, oddly enough, if I get that leather taste in my mouth.
I think we've clearly established our preferences, right? Like I can now know what Brian is preferring based on his profile. I know what Justin's, I think, profile probably runs more aligned with mine. So it's always good to find that stuff out. All right, so let's transition to a little UK U of L talk. This week, we're going to talk about U of L's football season. We're going to preview it. We're going to talk schedule. We're going to talk expectations.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. There's
Going
one
undefeated.
thing we needed to talk about, and the one thing the one thing that I think we need to get out of the way first is I need to say, because we talked about the Big 12, I need to say thank you. Thank you to the University of Cincinnati. If it weren't for Cincinnati, I would have no hope. I'd be full of despair. I would have no joy when it comes to my sports teams. Kenny Payne shitting the bed when it comes to college basketball. And then I had Frederick Scott Satterfield looking down the field, who was the Kenny Payne to my fandom before Kenny Payne got
That's a little extreme.
Well, I think a lot of his stuff had to do with more off the field stuff, more him trying to go flirt with going to South Carolina for a little bit. And then there came all the other bullshit of not being able to coach a fucking team to play against their biggest rival, not even get up, not even show up to that game. And it's not like you're playing against Alabama. You're playing Mark Stoops. You're playing Buttermilk Stoops. And that's the game you can't get up for.
Do you remember what he said his favorite thing about Louisville was? He said his favorite thing about Louisville was he liked the airport. He liked being so close to the airport.
I do remember that now. Yeah, I do remember he was just ready to get out at any chance at any possibility. And I'm thankful for it because otherwise this season would be full of dread. I remember last season because I went into it and I said he has to win 8 games. 8 games don't count when you win in a bowl game. I'm sorry, they don't count. He didn't win them because he had already gone. He left. The favorite son returns home. Jeff Brohm comes back to Louisville, pumps in all kinds of excitement with the team, especially given his history, the things that the Brohm family means to the University of Louisville. And then we talk about Purdue. We talk about how he went to Purdue after Western Kentucky. He had a good run at Western Kentucky when he took over for Bobby Petrino when he left there, as he always does. That's what Bobby the Snake does. He went to Louisville, so I don't know why I'm taking shots at him from that part. But when it comes to him at Purdue, He had. I think you're going to mention this a little bit when it comes to the big games that he won at Purdue.
Yeah,
but
I mean that was the thing. That was the head scratcher with him at Purdue was he would win games against Ohio State, like massive games. Mm-hmm. Then the very next week he would just like crap the bed against some nobody. So it's like you could never figure out. Like he could get up for the big games, but maybe not sustain it for a full season. That was the thing with him that from an outside perspective. I'm
interested to see what he will be at the University of Louisville because and I'm not going to talk up Louisville football like it is the end all be all, or that it's going to be, the collision course and all that kind of crap. I'm not going to talk about that. But what I will say,
you're going to talk about it. I'm going to make you talk about it.
It's a better respected program than what you have going on with Purdue, where Purdue was. Purdue has always been, for the most part, a bottom feeder, a cellar dweller when it came to the Big Ten, and he made them respectable enough. He brought them into these games. The one thing I could say is I know he can coach a team up and he can hype a team up to play those big games. But like you said, I am worried when it comes to the smaller games, the games that you fall asleep on. I mean, Charlie Strong was the same kind of coach, though. Charlie Strong would fall asleep against, I think he did against Marshall in that first year. Mm-hmm. Some of those teams that you just don't expect to have issues.
Well, that's what I want to get a read on from both of you guys here is obviously vibes are high. They should be high.
Yeah,
they should be. I mean, you lost Satterfield, who I always said he looked like a CPA.
Lost.
What did I say?
You said lost.
You lost him.
We didn't lose him.
You lost him.
We didn't lose him.
You lost him. You couldn't find him.
We got rid of him.
Wound up in Cincinnati.
We got rid of the baggage.
We peer pressured him to get the fuck out.
Let's be clear. He was not fired.
No.
He was not fired.
We didn't lose him.
But regardless.
That's even better.
Yes.
Like to me, yes, I would have been crying and yelling and screaming because I wanted him to get fired. But the fact that they didn't even have to fire him and that he was taken from us and Louisville didn't have to pay a buyout, and also Cincinnati took a worse coach and goes from Luke Fickell.
I feel like Jeff Brohm got a big old dick. Like, he not afraid of nothing. Like, he gonna come in here and
I think he's got a tiny dick because I think he's overcompensating. I think that the whole tough guy thing is him just being mad that he has a tiny pee-pee.
I can see that too.
I do understand why vibes are high. However, I don't know if I understand why expectations are so high. I saw how Brett McMurphy said that you guys would be favored in every single game next season. Also, preseason ranked number 16 is what he had on his list. That's a big step. I don't know if going from a season where what you had last year, which wasn't a terrible season, but nothing spectacular, to now I'm going to be favored in every single game I play. I don't know. Do you guys really feel that way? Because again, I understand it's a down ACC, but you still have Notre Dame, you still have UK, you still have teams that will give you hard games. Do you all feel like you're going to be favored in every single game?
No, I think what you're doing is I think you're kind of taking a small vocal segment of a fan base, and I think you're kind of attributing to the large whole, which is what we do when it comes to opposing fan bases. Like my personal opinion. So we have people like my guy Drew Diener, who is very hype. He's very high on this, but he's also one of Jeff Brohm's BFFs. Mm-hmm. Like he's very good friends with Jeff Brohm, so he has a lot of excitement, a lot of I hate to use hype, good vibes when it comes to that. There's a lot of us though, like myself, Ethan Moore, Mark Blankenbaker, people like that, who are a little bit more level-headed when it comes to this, and are kind of like, I think it's a lot to expect of somebody to come through and take over an entirely new program and take over for Scott Satterfield and what he had here, and to come in and just completely take the ball and run with it. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to do that because usually you have your own setup, you have your own scheme, you have your own defense, you have your own culture
too. You have to build a culture around that.
And Scott Satterfield had a soft ass culture.
Right.
That's what he had. One of the positive things that like came out this week is there were 3 fights in one of the practices during the game, which is, I like to hear it because we've been seeing about how soft these teams have been under Scott Satterfield and how they show up to games, they have their tum-tums hurt and they don't want to play and all those issues that come along with it. But then now you got Jeff Brohm and you got guys who I'm hoping, and these are open practices, so guys had seen them play. It wasn't just some behind the scenes stuff happened. I think it's a competitive nature kind of thing. I think it's guys going head to head, trying to win a spot, trying to do whatever they can to be an important cog or piece of this team moving forward. And that's what you want to see. Yeah. I mean, I can do the Kentucky thing. You look at what Mark Stoops brought in there, and you started seeing some of that kind of attitude. They came into the first Louisville game, tried to start fights with Louisville, and they did that with Bobby Petrino. They did it multiple times. And yes, maybe it is kind of like bullshitty, whatever way to do things, but there's something to the mindset. The base going. But there is something to the mindset of like, you just have to do that because sometimes that's how you fire up your guys.
I agree.
Instead of just coming in and being like, hey, we want to be business-like. We want to be professional.
Yep.
No, bro. Sometimes you have to stir the pot a little bit.
I agree. 100% I agree. I almost think it's unfair to Jeff Brohm to put those expectations out there. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know if...
I don't think Jeff Brohm... okay, sorry.
I don't know if Brett McMurphy or the people that have said this, I don't know if they are homers. I really don't know what their affiliation is, but I almost feel like that's unfair to Jeff Brohm, who is trying to build his own program, to say year one, you should be favored in every single game. Like if I was Jeff Brohm, I'd be like, let's just chill out a little bit. Like, yeah, we want to be good. We want to have high expectations. We want to try to win every game, but don't like come in here acting like we're Alabama that's just going to like run the table. I don't know. That surprised me.
Jeff Brohm responded to this? Like, has he talked about it?
Jeff Brohm is, and I'm not when I say this, I'm not trying to like over hype somebody. Yeah. He's very calculated when it comes to the media. He will sit there and talk with you. He's very kind of monotone-ish when he talks, but he will say a bunch of things and say nothing at all.
Right.
Which is what great coaches do. Yeah. Like they sit down and they don't give you a soundbite that you can use against them. Right. If that makes sense. Like he's not going to hype up this team. He's not going to say this team's going to go out and kick Mark Stoops' ass. He's not going to do any of that stuff. But he's going to say some things that'll still kind of excite you, if that makes sense. Where you're like, okay, things are getting rolling. He knows what he's doing, but he's never going to say anything that's going to be controversial or really going to get a headline. Is what he does. So it's a weird thing. You get a whole lot of words, you get kind of nothing, which is an art in itself. For like if you're a coach.
So Brian, what do you think? Are you thinking like, no, this is a weak ACC, we're going to do this? Or are you thinking, hey, no, I'll be happy with 3-4 losses?
Real quick before I just wanted to say, like, before you go into Brian's response, I do want to preface this a little bit with, he was the only one who said, like, he's one of the few guys that have said that Louisville is going to be a top 16 team. Nobody else put him in the top 25. Nobody else did this.
There hasn't been like that's not out yet, right?
What?
Like AP, the AP top 25.
No, I don't believe so. Not at this time. Not as we're filming this. So as it stands right now, Brett McMurphy is the only one who's put him in the top 25. He put him at 16. Nobody else has Louisville in the top 25. When it came to the coaches poll, Louisville received 0 votes in the preseason coaches poll. Jeff Brohm has a vote in the coaches poll. He did not vote for Louisville.
Yeah. And that's what he should do. That's what he should do.
Put your expectations low and then also be like, hey, look how disrespected you guys are. You can play, you can
look who disrespect you. Even I don't think you're good.
But that's what they do. Right? But you know what I mean? That's what you kind of do. You got to do that kind of bullshit. Also, on top of this, the ACC Media Days, the ACC Media, they put out their expectations of how to finish. They put Louisville as finishing 8th. They put them at 8th.
I saw that too.
Behind, obviously, Clemson, Florida State, Miami, Pittsburgh. 8th to me is a little ridiculous. Eighth is... If it's 8th, then I got a problem. But I think there's a lot of guys that come into this and see Scott Satterfield left. They say, hey, they lost this many players. But also, like when I come in and I look at this and I have the stats right here, I mean, depending on who you go to for your rankings, off 3 had Jeff Brohm as having the number 1 transfer portal class this season. If you look at other ones, they have a little bit lower, but off 3 had him there. I don't know why, but so that's one way to look at it. And then also you get into the quarterback situation, and that's the one thing that has me a little bit unsure because I mean, it's basically decided QB1 is going to be Jack Plummer, who is a transfer in from California.
And he's played under Brohm, correct?
So he transferred out from Brohm to California. He didn't cut it
at Purdue.
He didn't cut it at Purdue. Went to Cal.
They came
but had a great season. But
I mean, to be an apologist, like in like his defense, Brohm would not have brought him back in if he didn't believe in him.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So like, even though he transferred away from Brohm, the fact that Brohm wanted him at UofL means Brohm does appreciate what he brings to the table.
I just can't believe Malik Cunningham didn't have a 6th year.
Yeah, actually, I think he could have, but I think he could have had another year. But thank God, I don't need more.
Yeah,
Malik
I agree.
Cunningham. I know people would be like, he's probably a better quarterback than what you have on the roster. But I think for what Jeff Brohm wants to do, I think you're better getting a guy that he's comfortable with, a guy that or guys that he knows he can work with and kind of install that instead of trying to continue on what we have in the past.
Yeah.
So you're in the camp of Jack Plummer is going to be
QB1.
Well, of course he's going to be QB1, but is he the weak link? Is you all going to have to carry him, or do you feel good about him?
I don't know enough. Like the problem is he sits down, you hear him talking, you see him, and like I've seen a little bit of practice and stuff like that, but like everybody looks good against your own team kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody, you're like, oh, the defense looks great. Oh, this looks great. So you can't tell until the first game's played till you get, a hand in the dirt.
But he has a lot of film out there.
He does. There's a lot of film, but like, I'm not super excited from what I saw. Of course, California, let's not pretend like they have the greatest situation there. He may have had a lot of guys that didn't give him the help that he needed to be successful. I don't know. That being said, number 2, Brock Doman's the second guy up. And then lately we have a battle between 3 and 4. And I think any of these guys in the end, in a year or two, could be the quarterback of Louisville, but it's just figuring that out. 3rd and 4th, which is kind of surprising. Brady Allen, he was a transfer from Purdue that was a freshman, a 4-star quarterback, and then Pierce Clarkson, which all the Clarkson stuff was, a lot of the guys that came in because of his dad and everything that was going on that with NIL. Interesting thing that came out of training camp was actually that Pierce Clarkson has kind of moved into the 3rd one and Brady Allen kind of fallen a little bit. Again, I don't know how much this means in the long run.
Hopefully nothing for you guys, because if you get down to your 3rd string quarterback, then you're not doing great things.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I agree.
So hopefully it means nothing.
But it's kind of, it is truly the story of you either have one quarterback or you have no quarterback.
Right.
Kind of thing.
And I think you guys have a clear starter.
It is.
So I don't think you have like a quarterback controversy at the moment.
He's comfortable with Plummer. I know enough with that. And but I just don't know at what level he is going to be performing. I need to see the first game be played before I really can tell how I feel my confidence of the season moving forward.
He's a graduate senior.
I believe so. Yeah.
No, I just let you know. He's a graduate senior. So, I mean, he's not the future. He is what we have this year.
Oh, yeah, he's your stopgap.
Right.
The quarterback, you guys don't know if he's going to be just like a stud. So do you know exactly what what's your identity going to be? Because as you've seen, like under, other teams, like we're going to be a pass first offense. We're going to be a run heavy offense. Do you already know kind of what the identity of the team's going to be? Is it going to be we're going to let the offense just tread water while the defense makes everything work?
I feel like it's going to be, I mean, Jeff Brohm, he's from I wouldn't call it a school because he ain't running a school, but he comes from that kind of mindset. He's very offensive. That's his sweet spot is the offense. The defense is one I feel very confident in because they got some really good players coming in to fill the gaps of some of these, Yaya Diaby and players like that are leaving, that left. But you have some really good players coming in, and they feel pretty comfortable with the defense. Mark Ivey being retained is another one that, like, I'm so glad they were able to keep him because I think he was a lot of the heart and soul of that defense and what got them running with the team last year. So I feel confident with the defense. I think it's going to be, though, the identity has to be with Jeff Brohm. It has to be the offense. The problem, though, is you're adjusting an offense from a run-heavy philosophy with Scott Satterfield. And you have some of these guys now, and you're trying to basically turn it into like an air raid kind of thing. You want to kind of do that. Because that's what he's going to do. He's going to want to sling the ball a lot. Jack Plummer's got to be able to get it done.
And as we've seen, you have to have the offensive line. Even if you're not going to run heavy, you have to be able to block.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not trying to make this a UK thing, but as we've seen in the past from other teams, you could have a great quarterback. If you don't have time to throw the ball, you're not going to do anything.
I will say the lines, I actually do feel pretty confident in for Louisville. Let's really kind of dive into like what you were really leading us to, which is really the crux of why the hype is there. And it's the schedule. It is absolutely the schedule. I'm not going to say it's Cupcake Central, but it's not strong.
It's close.
I mean, it's not Mark Stoops' Cupcake. It's not Miami, Ohio, and all those teams.
It's not Georgia. It's not Alabama. It's not Tennessee, Florida.
Well, I mean, you got Murray State, so yeah. Mark Stoops will do anything but put in like a tough out, but he doesn't need to.
You don't need to. That's the thing. But, SEC teams, unless you're Alabama, when you know you can beat anybody, there's no need for an SEC team to schedule a hard non-conference game.
You got Kentucky, who's right now preseason top 24. Well, this one has it at 24, so they probably just put the highest whatever.
I don't think they'll be ranked. I don't think they'll be preseason. I don't think they'll be ranked.
Mark Stoops, who is coming off of it, and then we're going to obviously talk about them next time, but always puts together good squads, always has his team show up against Louisville. I'm very interested, though, to see how the dynamic is going to be, because it's different when you're going up against Scott Satterfield, who literally just pisses down his leg. And now you're going to have Jeff Brohm, who I feel like will kind of, at least whether he's good or not, going to have that kind of same mentality that Stoops has. You got kind of like,
I think it's going to be a massive game. I think it's going to be a very fiery game. And I'm excited for it because, like I've said, I think it's good when the fan bases are, both competitive, like they're on the same level, but they're also very, like, not, I won't say very good, but at least they're good-ish.
It's something the state needs. The state needs this in football. Basketball needs it to come back too.
Yes.
But you need to have competitive rivalry games.
One thing that I am still confused about is, again, I understand that you got a better coach, probably. I still don't understand. I mean, from what we have seen, yes, you have a better coach.
Undoubtedly.
Okay, that is, probably.
Quality coach.
But what I am still confused about is the fact that I've seen some, like, people still favoring UofL in that game. Now, again, maybe that's the last game of the season. Maybe by the end of the season, UK's on they're just like on a tailspin. UofL's doing great. But the fact that UK has dominated UofL in the last 4 years, and then to enter this new season being considered an underdog in that game, it just still like blows my mind.
It feels disrespectful.
It does.
Kind of thing. And I get that. I think one of the things too, this is, I don't want to say this is not your whatever Kentucky team, because like, I guess it is kind of an average Kentucky team. Like it's an average.
It's an average Stoops team, I would say.
Let's say that. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
But I think one of the things that I'm looking at, and the reason that I come with it, and I feel like this is not a good way to, I guess, to rank it or to kind of like constitute it, is I'm looking at, you got Devin Leary, and he's a good quarterback, but dude gets injured all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, is he going to be there for the Louisville game? He might be. I don't know, but I already know that the offensive line is not as good as it usually is. So if they're not protecting him as well, and I remember we had issues last year about protecting the quarterback. And then you got Devin Leary, who is injury prone. That's the main thing that could be, because what if you're going to go to a hairdo?
Yeah.
What's the hairdo guy?
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's a multitude of factors that could weigh into it making sense come game time. Yeah. That UofL's favored.
But if you're just going
preseason,
head-to-head,
assuming everyone's going to be healthy, I do think that I think it is disrespectful to say that Stoop should be an underdog given the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we'll get into UK's season
we'll talk about that
next time, but I mean, that's the game that still, to me, feels like UK should be favored. But here's what I want to like, end here with a little bit is.
And I think I also would prefer them to be favored.
Yeah, I would think so too.
I every time I feel like somebody tries to put hype into Louisville, that undercuts them.
Correct.
Or like, you get high in your own farts a little bit and then you come into the game and then, you shit your pants.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. So here's what I kind of want to know from you guys to a little bit put a bow on this is.
Have you ever gotten high off your own fart?
Couple times.
Yeah, for sure. What would you guys consider to be a successful season?
9-3.
What is, if anything falls below this, I would consider this
9-3.
So if they win 8 games, you're going to say this was a complete failure. Jeff Brohm,
I'm saying
I'm
it's
looking
not
at
what
him
I
bad.
expected.
Okay.
It is less than I expected from a Jeff Brohm team.
Okay.
Notre Dame, Virginia, Miami.
9 games is not.
Virginia. That's going to be the crap the bed one.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, like, no matter who you're playing, it's winning 9 games is not just a given anywhere. Like, no matter who, like, even though you can say, oh, this is the SEC, you're not playing those teams. Yeah, no shit. But at the same time, winning 9 games, like you talk about, you have these issues that come up. You have injuries. We don't know. Like I said, Jack Plummer, maybe he's a quarterback. He goes down.
Scott Satterfield, 8 games.
Scott Satterfield won 7 games.
That was,
7
I
games.
know, but he
didn't win 8 games.
You're saying 8 games was the bar, and 7 games is what he actually came out with. Besides the bowl game,
the number I'm thinking Louisville wins is 8 games. Is where I'm at right now. I think regular season 8 games is what I'm expecting.
Okay.
It could be better than that. It could be 9-10, but to do that, like the team's got to stay healthy. Things have to go fluidly, and then you can't have any surprises. You can't have a team that comes out of nowhere, and like you can't have a Miami or a Virginia Tech turning into a really, really good team, and then you get I just those things happen, and I just don't like. I also don't want to undercut what I think is not fair to Jeff Brohm is he's just coming into this situation as a first year coach, and I think one thing we need to realize this is year 0. Like these players, they've come from bad families.
Did you get Scott Satterfield these level of?
These players,
I know Kenny Payne.
The cards he was dealt.
Yeah,
the cards he was dealt was just not fair.
I didn't want these cards.
The black cloud over this program that he came into. They couldn't even recruit.
They were saying that he was going to get the death penalty.
Yeah, they were saying it. They were saying Louisville football is done. Like they were in a collision course with the death penalty.
I'm a little confused if I'm watching those YouTube shorts of Kenny Payne.
We're very consistent on this podcast. If nothing else, we're consistent.
I'm just saying, if you're going to give Kenny Payne that kind of thing, you got to do the same. You can't turn around to Jeff Brohm and be like, oh, you came in here because we know you can fucking coach because you've done it before and we've seen you do it, that we're going to have these expectations. I have expectations. I want them to be high. I just need to see how it starts looking in the first, give me 3-4 games, and then I'll tell you my expectations for the season.
9-3.
Because I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what some of these plays. I'm thankful for the transfer portal. I have excitement for the season. I think he could do something what I kind of like expected from old school Bobby Petrino teams, which is like you get the ball rolling and you get the excitement, you get those high flying, high scoring offenses. But again, that's kind of what Jeff Brohm's going to be. You're going to have shootouts. This is what Jeff Brohm's going to be. You're going to have shootouts. And you're going to have games where you just need to score more points to win. And I understand that sounds stupid because that's every game. But what I mean by that is like your defense may not be stopping guys. Even though I have confidence in this defense, the way that he plays the game, they might get worn out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I got one thing I want to talk about. We're talking about schedule, right?
Yes.
Yep.
When I look at UK schedule, all I see are Saturday games.
We're talking about UK?
When I look at UofL schedule, I see 2 Fridays and 2 Thursdays.
See, if I was a fan of UofL, I would like that.
I love
it. I would love those standalone games.
I love knowing that when I get off work that day, I've got something to look forward to. And on Saturday,
you get to watch all the games.
I just get to appreciate everything else that's happening. Yeah.
Well, I mean, also like Louisville's bread and butter years, and I understand maybe people are like, oh, we shouldn't have to do this anymore. I'm fine with it. That's what we grew up on, like as a program. They grew up
have
on.
To do this. What are you talking about? This is awesome.
No, but what I'm saying is back in the day, it was like you play on Saturday because you're a big boy.
Right.
Well, Louisville used to be back when they were in Conference USA and stuff. They played teams like that. We'll play anybody anywhere on this time. You want a Thursday? We'll do a Thursday night game if ESPN will play it. And that's what they did.
Right.
And so I don't know, like there's part of me that kind of likes that. But
I'm excited.
So
yeah.
So it works out for me. I'm glad to have that, at least not have every Saturday. And again, I don't want to take a Saturday of potentially some good games watching Murray State.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
And it's nice to have that standalone game where other fans of other teams may watch your game because that's the only game on.
Correct.
Yep. So it's kind of cool.
Yep.
It's the highlight.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Guys, we have less than 30 days till football season.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. Well, that's the preview of UofL. I'm excited for football. This podcast, as you guys know, is Now We Can Talk Like Men, but we felt a little bad because we didn't want to, exclude our women viewers. We have several. We have a handful, I would say.
Our wives.
And, the reason that
Our wives don't even watch it.
Yeah, they don't even watch this. They don't watch it. Let's be real. But we wanted to be inclusive. But the thing is we don't know a whole lot about women. That's probably why we don't talk about it a lot. But the one thing that we do know about women is, one, they have a lot of problems. And two, they like to receive advice on those problems from men because we can help them through this.
Yes, they do.
So what we've chosen to do is we've chosen a new segment that's called Now We Can Talk Like Women. And that's where we help you women with your problems, and we explain to you how you should go about resolving these issues. So that's what we're going to do here.
Explaining it as men?
We're explaining it as men because that's what they
something
want.
that they've been looking
that's
for.
That's what they want.
I hear that a lot. Something about Twitter on mansplaining or something. Like they need help.
They need help. And we're here to help.
They want man explaining.
Right.
That's what they want.
Man explaining.
We have scoured the internet for some issues, and we're here to read them off, and we're here to give advice to the women that had issues that they felt like they needed to express online. Now, for our women viewers, if you do have issues that you think that we can help you with, which we can solve all of your problems. That's why we were put on this earth. Just go ahead and send us something on Twitter. Just shoot us a PM. We'll read it on air and we'll fix your problems for you. With that, let's get into a few of these. So I'm going to read the first one. We're just going to give some, advice. All right, this one titled "Feeling Betrayed After Discovering My Husband Used a Chatbot AI for Our Vows." All right, so here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm at a loss and need some advice. Of course you do. You're a woman. Just a couple of days ago, my husband and I renewed our vows on our 10th anniversary. I was so touched by the beautiful words he spoke and the depth of his love for me. But now I found out that he actually used the OpenAI chatbot to write his vows. I don't know how to feel. On one hand, I'm flattered that he wanted to put so much effort into expressing his love for me. But on the other hand, I feel hurt and betrayed that he didn't write the vows himself. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but I also don't want to pretend like everything is okay. How should I deal with this? Thank you on any advice you have to offer.
I got this.
Let's do it, Brian. Explain.
Okay, so I got very concerned when you said he wrote his vows using AI chatbot. And then I heard you say for their 10-year anniversary, he gives a shit enough after 10 years to use an AI chatbot to be creative enough to have like some sort of substance to the vows. That's beautiful.
So just to be clear, like when you use a chatbot like that, I'd imagine you probably have to put subtext. The person's name at least.
I love my
How long
wife.
You've been
Give
married,
me some
things that she likes, things that she's interested in.
No,
probably,
not necessarily.
You don't think so? You don't think probably.
Have you used ChatGPT?
I've used ChatGPT, and it's the easiest thing. It's the easiest thing you've ever done.
I've used that.
It is the easiest thing you've ever done, and it is extremely effective. It's scary how effective this AI chatbot or ChatGPT is.
Mm-hmm. Its citations might not be correct, but it's okay. People probably won't look them up.
ChatGPT?
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. No, I know. It's citations.
Citations.
I believe I heard something about an attorney using it, and then he asked specifically if the law case it cited was actually a legit case and said,
no.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And then they're like, yeah, this doesn't exist.
So my thought here is maybe your husband is not very smart, and he had to give these vows in front of other people. And he was like, I don't want to embarrass myself. I know that ChatGPT will do a better job than I will do.
Yeah.
So he just was, he was fearful. He wanted to do a good job. And I think that that's what really, led to this.
The most important part of anything anybody does is always intent. And I think you have to establish intent. And in this, it's, I want it to be done well. I want it to be appropriate. And I also just want her to feel special.
I think it's probably, how can I put the least amount of effort into it with it still being A+ quality?
See, I think you're underselling this guy. I think he really cared enough that this is why he did it. And I think she needs to understand that this is caring and thoughtful and not lazy.
Here's what I think you need to do to resolve this issue. Here's my advice. You're clearly upset. I can see why you're upset. You wanted it to come from the heart. Have him write the vows that he would have written without ChatGPT. Compare what he writes to what ChatGPT put out. You will thank him. You will be like, you know what? Good job. You're not a smart man. You could not have done as good of a job.
Not a smart man.
So I think you need to have him write out his vows, see how bad they would have been, and then you will understand that he made the right decision.
You know what? What were your vows? What were your fucking vows to him? I want to know how good your vows were. Like, how much did he really care about that?
I'm going to be real honest, and like, this is kind of a shitty thing to say, but
did you chat GPT it back in?
No, God, no. So I wrote my
Brian
vows.
thinks he's a poet. I'll read Brian's Facebook post, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, we see the text
you mean
see from Brian.
2007?
No, from like last month.
Yeah, there's none because I don't write. Oh, you're talking about when I say things about my wife?
Yes.
That's kind of messed up. I genuinely.
Brian's like, I have to get into my Shakespeare mindset.
I must show how much I love you. Your eyes gleam with the radiance of 1,000 moonlight.
She is my sun, moon, and stars.
Oh my God!
Oh
really?
My!
Like you really Game of Thrones?
I can speak, Khal.
So we're all on the same page, right? Like, she's wrong, he's right.
Clearly, the guy should have put less effort into it, and she would have been happier. Like, how rude of her.
Yeah.
I think at 10 years of marriage, like your expectations should have been lowered by then. Like, you should have been like, Let's be honest. Why are you renewing your vows in 10 years?
Yeah.
Like, why? What's going on? You guys doing okay?
I was going to say, are you guys all right? Do you have a joint Facebook too? Like, yikes. Well, anyway, so you're wrong. Like I said, I think what you got to do is realize he wanted to do the best job he possibly could. He's not smart. The chat bots are smarter than us. Mm-hmm. He went to an expert. Are you
pandering to her by saying he's not smart? Like, what if he's actually very intelligent?
Nah, he's
person?
not.
I think he's an intelligent person because he did use chat.
That was the smartest move he made. Yeah,
yes.
That's correct. All right, so let's move on, guys. I went clubbing downtown and met a bouncer and went home with him. I'm a resident cardiologist, and diagnosing cancer is outside my specialty. However, I went to med school, and I'm pretty sure I felt a lump on his testicle, which seemed like it might be cancer. I told him, this might be cancer. I'm a doctor. Way to ruin the mood. All right. He said, right. What's your favorite position? I didn't want to ruin the hookup, so I didn't say anything at first. And then I forgot about it. We didn't exchange numbers or anything. The problem is, I don't think he took me seriously or even believed that I am, in fact, a doctor.
Oh, my God.
I think it's something he really needs to look at. It's awkward because he never came to me looking for a medical opinion. Yeah, no duh. Yet I feel that I need to tell him that the lump is something to take seriously. Do I go back to the club to try to talk to him again? How do I start the conversation? What should I advise him to do if he doesn't have health insurance? Oh, my gosh.
She's very involved with this guy.
All right. I'll let you guys start because I have major thoughts here.
This hurts so much. She cares so much for such a little bit of time. She thinks that because she's medically trained, she has an obligation to let this guy know, hey, you really need to get this checked out. He's not there for that. Like, he don't care. It's okay. Let it go.
Let's just address the elephant in the room. You don't care about the lump on his balls. You care that he doesn't believe you're a doctor. That's exactly, ultimately the issue here.
Correct.
And that's what's bothering you is that
that's why you're still thinking about it.
Did not believe that you were a doctor, and you can't let that go. That's clearly what's at issue. It's like that riddle. The dad and a son, they get in a car wreck and the dad dies. Mm-hmm. The kid goes to the hospital and the doctor says, I can't operate on this guy. He's my son. And it's like, how's that possible? And no one understands. It's like, the mom's the doctor.
But nobody would expect it because it's a woman.
Because it's a woman.
Right. And they don't allow women to go to
everyone's mind explodes from that. But no, that's obviously the issue that's bothering you here is he did not believe that you're a doctor, and that's clearly
do you think maybe
rocking your world.
Would have been better if she said that she was a nurse?
I think he may have taken that more seriously.
I would believe that. Yeah.
That would be like, oh shit, I got to get this checked out. It's this nurse here. She knows what she's doing. She's on top of things.
You know what's really messed up now that I think about it?
Yeah.
like trusted significantly more women doctors in my lifetime than male doctors. I've only ever had one male doctor. It was my pediatrician. Everybody else that I've gone, so I don't have like a regular doctor like I go to on a regular basis. I have the wellness center, and they're women doctors, and I don't care. That sounds fine. I trust
the wellness
them.
centers, like the urgent care places.
Wellness center is Louisville Metro government's. Like you pay $5 copay, you can get diagnosed with anything.
Are you sure those aren't registered? Like those
is it
aren't
like
nurses?
a crack house?
It's a
kind of thing?
deposit.
Or like,
It's a depository.
Anytime I hear a thing that's like a wellness clinic, I always think about like there's gonna be people lined up laying outside.
No, it's not the health
Shooting
department. It is actually run by a legit organization. But anyway,
Can I be real? I don't think this woman's a doctor either. Because here's
She
why I
cares way
say
too
that.
much.
Here's what I say. Why I say this. The last thing she says is, "What should I advise him to do if he doesn't have health insurance?" You're a doctor. That's your job. We're supposed to tell you about health insurance? Do you not deal with that on a daily basis?
so
I don't think that
she's not on the billing side of it. She's just on the doctor side of it. Of give me all your fucking money.
You're around.
That's fair.
She should know. I don't. So I'm with this
Actually,
guy.
I believe her more than now. I believe that she's a doctor more now than I did before.
Yeah,
because she doesn't really give a fuck and she doesn't know, and she's
You know, it's also possible that maybe this guy knows he has cancer.
And he's just trying to nut.
And he's just trying to enjoy the little time he has left on this earth.
Killed the boner.
You are literally ruining his night.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Yeah, like maybe you are his Make-A-Wish. Maybe maybe this is what he wanted. He wanted to pretend to be a bouncer. You were gonna slob on his knob like corn on the cob, and the next thing you know, you're pointing out the shit that's ruining his life.
Yeah,
and like you can't be a good. You just give it up one night.
Yeah,
she did do that, but she also
cancer stricken. Yeah. Come on.
Did they finish? Did they clarify if he was able to finish afterward? Oh, he did finish. Okay.
One night stand.
Does that if you have cancer in your balls, are you able to still do everything good?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I wouldn't know.
Are you able to get it all off? But
here's your advice.
Does dust come out?
Here's your advice.
You're doing chemo, but
leave work at the office. Any other advice, guys, on this one? No, it's not. It's not getting cut.
Stop caring, lady. Like Jesus.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank you. Guys, it's the best part of the whole freaking podcast. It is the thing that doesn't make any of our shorts, but is my favorite part of the whole fucking show.
It's made the last few.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole Seinfeld thing did. I'm fucking wrong. What do you know? I'm not
16,000 views. Yeah.
16,000 views, guys. We can do better. Today's draft topic is the most goddamn American things ever.
One little wrinkle we're gonna do is we are going to begin having guest draft pickers where we call someone that we know.
What?
And we're going to have them after we have done our picks to give their picks. And we're going to see if any of these guest pickers can beat us when we put these out for a vote. So, it'll help bring a little bit of a new audience. It'll help bring like a new perspective, a new fresh perspective.
We're replacing Ashton. Okay.
Yeah, Ashton's gone.
That makes sense.
This week, we're going to actually do someone that I have known for 31 years of my life. That's my little brother, Spencer Young. And we thought that he would be a good one for this one because he has served in the Air Force, so he knows a little bit about America. And he's also ran across America. So he's seen parts of, the country that I have not seen, parts that we haven't seen. So we thought he'd have a good perspective on, the most American things.
No, the most goddamn American things ever. Like, it's gotta when you think of this thing, you think of America. When you think of America, you think of this thing.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will. Wait. They did not win.
All right, I'm going to go
lost in embarrassing
first. With my first pick and the first pick of our draft, this is really hard, but I just think of the things that really bring out the American in me, and that's a bald eagle. When I see a bald eagle fly, my red, white, and blue morning wood just gets hard as hell. And so that's the thing. I start hearing Lee Greenwood playing in the background. I'm proud to be an American all of a sudden. I'm ready to just an American. Just when I see that bald eagle fly in the sky, I know that I'm in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And so that's my number one pick. No brainer.
Have you ever seen a bald eagle?
Yes, I have. I have in Kentucky.
Okay, wild.
Twice.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Spencer County guys, welcome to the country. There are
they're
bald
wild
eagles
here?
that are nesting in Taylorsville Lake.
Yep.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
All I remember is back when we were like in elementary school that they were all gone.
No
That's what they
joke.
told us.
I know this sounds weird because I'm not a bird person. Beckley Creek Park. I was walking with my wife and I couldn't walk for a while. I just stood there and just watched this eagle fly. And I'm just like,
It's when Dwight was striking out.
I was just like, I'm proud. Yeah. I just turned into like,
I want to fuck that bird.
He just
turned
put
into-
his hand over his heart.
I just turned into Mitch McConnell for a minute. I just looked at that bird and I was like, just stroked out.
Oh, Dwight set that up for a short. That's amazing. It's going to be 19 seconds of Mitch McConnell.
But no, that's an easy 1-1 for me. I don't know what it is about that bald eagle, but it just brings out the freedom in me. It brings out the freedom in me.
You're not talking about the bird. Okay. I got you.
Nah, you know what I'm talking about.
I see.
So, all right. Who's up next?
I think bald eagle's logically everybody's first pick. You stole my number 4 pick with bald eagle. I think that is logically the best pick, obviously. However, a close number 2 is taxidermy deer heads. Taxidermy deer heads. Taxidermy deer heads. Welcome to the country, guys. You ever see a taxidermy deer head anywhere else in the entire world? No, because they hunt fucking buffalo and elephants and jaguars and jaguars. Because I'm country. So real talk, like if you think of a taxidermy deer head, you think of LA? Fuck no. You think of New York? Fuck no. You think of fucking Kentucky? You think of Tennessee? You think of Mississippi? Hell yeah.
Texas.
Taxidermy deer heads.
You ever go into someone's house and they have a taxidermy like zebra or like some type of weird foreign animal, and I'm like,
Safari.
what is this guy doing?
I don't have rich friends, do I?
I mean, it's just
I only
always,
have 4 country deer heads.
it's always a turn off to me. Like they think it's super impressive, and I'm just like,
You murdered
you
that
just
poor
went.
animal.
You went to another country. You probably were shooting this like thing in a barrel.
You went to the zoo and murdered.
Yeah, you went to the zoo.
Well, nobody gives a shit about deer because deer are the dumbest animal that's out there, right? So like nobody cares. They're vermin. They're out there. They're always causing issues.
Vermin.
Some people like to eat them. Me personally, not. But when you go out to
Deer jerky.
if you see people that are going out on a safari and they've got they've brought back a giraffe or a zebra or something, you're like, these are majestic beings.
All right, I'm gonna be real. I've never seen
But
a
also,
giraffe.
I think what I think is messed up about that is that like, and I've talked to someone who's done it.
Craven the Hunter.
They go to these like organizations and they get to pick out.
Yeah,
I want to kill that animal.
I want to fuck that thing
And I'm
up.
like, that's not hunting. That's not hunting.
right.
And
Yes.
so I actually am more impressed with a deer head to know that you actually went out and you like shot that deer and you killed that deer. I am, because it's not impressive when you go to somewhere that they guide you to basically you're literally shooting a deer or you're shooting a wild animal, but they're not wild.
It's somewhat similar to what we do at the bars, where it's like they guide you in there. I want that fucking one right there, and that's the one you're hunting.
I've never done this at a bar before.
You've never
I haven't
done
either.
that?
No,
No,
I've
that's
never
how I
done
met
that.
my wife. That's how,
okay.
I want that one. I had to come back night after night after night for 5 years, but I got it.
I can't believe she was there for 5 years. That's
5
kind of messed
years.
up.
She just kept coming back. She's
So
loving it.
on your safari excursion thing that you're talking about, I mean, it sounds like really cool, but obviously kind of fucked up.
Yes.
In Kentucky, however, like it doesn't matter where you go, you're gonna find fucking deer. I was hanging out with this group of friends that was brand new to me, and they knew Taylorsville, Spencer County area very well. And the guy said that he has some land up on the hill close to the Taylorsville Lake. And I let him know that I was a part of the family with the Jules, and the Jules are like a well-respected Spencer County name. He explained to me that they have prime real estate, like the perfect hunting spot in all of Spencer County for taxidermy deer heads. And like legitimately, I've never killed a deer, but I guess I'm gonna have to go use this property just for this fucking use. So
okay.
Yeah.
No, it's a decent. I mean, I don't hate the pick. When I see a deer head, I think, oh, this person is country.
Yes.
I don't know if I necessarily get that America. I don't get that American like gung ho feeling. I get that like
my red, white, blue gets so hard.
Okay,
It just
okay.
drips.
All right, Justin, your number 1 pick. Let's go.
All right, my first pick and the most goddamn American thing of all time is going to be shooting off fireworks anytime, no matter what. And I'm not going to say just on 4th of July. I'm talking shoot those motherfucking fireworks off any day, any month of the year. You should enjoy them. Enjoy your freedom. Get it out there. The people that bother me are the people that are out there that complain about their whiny ass little dog or cat that, they're scared of a little fireworks.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
have PTSD fighting for our country. Screw you.
Yeah.
We're going to celebrate.
Fuck
this is
you.
America.
America. Fuck yeah. So that's my biggest issue because you get people complaining every time. Facebook, Nextdoor, all these applications, Twitter. Wait, please respect the thing. Go to sleep. My poor little poodle. My poodle can't take this shit. As Lachlan McLean once said, that's my favorite thing he's ever said, ever of all time.
Oh, God.
Get a better dog.
Oh.
My dog, I have a golden retriever. My dog Bourbon, he had a golden retriever as well. You can shoot off anything right next to him. He's good. He's living, no problem whatsoever. I leave him out at night during 4th of July, and he's just chilling. He's loving it. Like, I'm sorry, your dog is not good enough. If you can't handle the freedom that come along with fireworks, get out of my country.
I hope you're ready for this.
Go ahead.
When I think of fireworks, I think of China.
No, it's America, dude.
You know why?
Because they invented it.
Because China invented
I don't
two
care.
things.
Yeah, we
that are very
perfected
important:
it.
We perfected
gunpowder and fireworks.
I don't care. We
I
perfected
think a
it.
Chinese dragon fireworks come get me from Mulan.
I'm one of the most frugal people you'll meet, but every 4th of July, I'm spending
Dude, you just hit the nail on the head.
Amount of money on fireworks.
The reason I don't identify this with America, even though obviously I should, is because I'm a cheapskate.
I am too. but
I'm the one who mooches off Dwight's free fireworks from my show.
It's a must.
'Cause I'm not wasting the money on it. That's insane.
It's a must. That is my donation. I don't like paying taxes. That's my idea of taxes. I will pay for fireworks to celebrate this country. That's my donation to our great country.
You guys know what Tannerite is?
No.
Never heard of it.
I'm gonna buy some Tannerite for. Did 4th of July already happen this year?
Yeah,
It did.
I missed it because stupid little kid was
This
sick.
would have been a good one
God.
during the month of July.
Yeah.
This would have been. This would have made sense.
All right. No, it's a good pick. That was on my list. So we circle back. Justin, you get another pick.
Oh yeah.
All right. For this one, I'm actually going to swing it a little bit different. I'm not going to go stereotypical with some of these. This one, we're going to go back with some of the topics we talked about. But I think one of the most American things ever is college football. And to me, it's just American college football. You got tailgating.
The only type
you
of
got
football there is.
You know, every time they score
It's
a
got to
five,
be SEC football.
not
though.
a red-
You
it's
gotta-
not a
you
black
gotta
and white
You got to
ball.
quantify it with SEC.
Oh, my God.
Because if it's
No.
not SEC, it ain't American.
This is slowly becoming not just as
ACC or SEC, because some ACC does it, but really it's really just like Clemson and Florida State there. Florida State's though, I don't see it as much. Clemson, I do see it though. They got the SEC vibe when it goes the hospitality. You go with the tailgating. You go sundresses. You go everything. The heavy drinking. The like you passing out before the game even starts. All that good stuff. There's nothing better to me than college football. And you know that smell when it's August. It
smells like
the end of August. That cool crisp air. You get a couple of those days of the crisp air coming in.
Jack and
That's
Coke.
football season.
You got
Yep.
Jack and Coke flooding through your veins.
Yeah, but football season comes around and you know the good stuff's coming.
Yeah, no, it's hard to argue with that because no other country has that. Like you can say, other countries have soccer and football.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there's just nothing that you can replicate that Saturday football tailgating.
College,
like,
yeah. Well, that's the
so
reason I
good.
specified college football because a lot of other countries now are becoming fans of the NFL. and
Yeah,
stuff
they
like
go
that.
to London now.
And it's just to me, but also like if you've ever been to an NFL game, the tailgating's fine. It's not the same.
No.
It is
They
an
don't live in-
experience
yeah.
tailgating for college football. Everything that surrounds it is an experience. It is as American as it gets.
Can't argue with that pick. It's a good one. Absolutely.
It's not as good
All
as
right,
mine.
so let's go, Brian.
You know, there's nothing more American than using unrealistically proportioned standards of measurement.
On my list. That was on my list. That's a good one.
I grew up
You gotta
believing
say
that
what it
my
is, though.
foot
What is
was
it?
this, imperial system.
There you go.
So there's the metric system that's based on 10, which just makes way too much sense. And it's just stupid. I'd much rather be able to pull out a measuring tape and be like, what the fuck am I looking at right now?
I don't want to know how many millimeters my dick is.
No. I don't know what a 16th of my fucking dick is.
What's a kilometer?
I gotta figure out an 18th and a 16th. I'm saying I don't know how to use the American system of measurement. It's bastardized.
No,
it's idiotic. It's
We're
amazing.
Better.
It's what it's made for. Yeah. We're the only ones who understand it. It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
What do you hear?
I measure by my foot.
How many sayings do you hear? You give them an inch, they take a mile. What do you say? You give them a centimeter, they take a kilometer.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that shit. No.
What's a kilometer? Kilometers, that's stupid.
It's a nonsense word.
We know better. That's basically what America is. It's like we are better than you, and we are not going to change what we do.
It is amazing how fucked up the system is, and we genuinely believe it. Better system.
That's the most stubborn thing that America does.
We're just like, you know what? Fuck it. It's fine. Everybody else uses the metric system. We're fucking cooler. Yeah. We're going to stick with this bullshit of 12.
On my list. Yeah. Great pick.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right. So with my second pick, I was thinking 4th of July, obviously that feels like America, but what do you really attribute with the 4th of July? For me personally,
jean shorts.
I think of the greatest of all time, the best athlete to ever grace our earth, Joey Chestnut, the hot dog eating competition.
How did Justin know that?
Because that is what America is. America is gluttony. Yeah. America is beating other countries with our gluttony. The fact that there's this little Kobayashi kid that's out there trying to compete with us, but we can shove more freaking hot dogs in our mouths faster than you. That's America. Yeah, there's nothing more American than taking this garbage of an edible meat source and just shoving it in our face.
Hey, you know all that leftover byproduct meat? Yeah, why don't you put that in a tube and just sell that shit?
But also just I'm sorry, every other country, people that are just trying to survive day to day, hunting gazelle and antelope and shit like that. We're just out here. We got too much. We got too much meat.
You show that to another country and you're just like, here is Joey Chestnut just shoveling it.
It's the most 72 hot dogs in an hour. How the fuck do you do that?
It's the most American thing that you can possibly do is to just shove as much food in your face until you become physically ill.
While he's 72 pounds, and
no, he's okay. He's solid.
A little bit now.
He's built like a normal guy.
But the fact that we don't just do it, we don't just celebrate it, we don't just do it, we dominate it. Yeah. We invite you all to come compete with us. Joey Chestnut will kill you because we here in America, we are the glizzy gladiators. We will beat you.
Are we talking about hot dogs? Are we talking about gluttony?
Both.
So we even make other cultures bring their food to us and serve it as a buffet.
That's right.
Chinese buffet, dude.
And it's not good food either.
Yeah.
It's we took this processed, not real meat.
Can you deep fry that and we put some sauce on it?
And I'll face fuck myself with it for an hour.
And it's the best thing. It's the most American thing that you could possibly do. All right, so that's my second pick.
That was really
third
good
pick. Let's go. So with my third pick, this guy is America. He will paint your town red and he will paint your wife white. That is Kid Rock. He's a cowboy, baby. And there's nothing more American than Kid Rock. He'll sing country. He'll sing rap. He will do whatever it takes to let you know that he is from the trailer park. And he is here to just do all the American stuff.
You're not going to talk about Bud Light?
That Bud Light's going to hell. We're getting rid of that Bud Light.
There's nothing more American than Kid Rock. He screams America.
I mean, you just said 5 seconds ago that Bald Eagles were
There's nothing more American than any of the things that I'm picking. Here's the thing.
Do you know where Kid Rock lives?
Michigan.
In Nashville.
Detroit's where he reps.
Nashville.
He reps Detroit.
Okay, I don't know where the fuck he actually lives, but the location that he lives in is a home that he has built, which is I guess it's a miniature replica of the White House.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Probably of the Trump White House, but it is
miniature?
When I say miniature, it's a mansion, but for the White House, the White House. So it's his version of the White House.
I was sure it was like a replica of his trailer growing up when he was a little kid.
He didn't grow up in a trailer. He grew up with money.
I mean, no. His lyrics was, "You're straight out of Compton. I'm straight out the trailer."
But I don't think I think that was a lie. I think he wasn't actually from the trailer.
Have you seen Kid Rock?
No, I'm telling you.
He didn't have money.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This man, Kid Rock is America. There's just no doubt about it.
William Ritchie's son, Kid Rock, inherited a portion of his wealth.
Inherited.
No.
That doesn't mean he grew up that.
Yeah, no, his son,
he died when he was 2.
His dad is William Ritchie. He got at least $20 million from the estate of his father.
But when did he die, though?
He's still living in a trailer, guys.
Okay, his father, William. Okay, yeah, because I've seen his house. His William Bill Ritchie is a used car dealer, but he had a ton of fucking money.
Dude, that's a fucking American thing right there. Used fucking car dealers.
Okay, just for clarification, we're gonna use this in the podcast. His father, William Bill Ritchie, the dad of Kid Rock, had a net worth of $150 million.
And he made his son live in a trailer?
Hold on.
He didn't live in a fucking trailer. He grew up in this house. I can show you because I've seen this house before. This is the house he grew up in. It ain't like huge, but it ain't a trailer.
No, it's not a trailer.
I mean, it's better than my house.
He grew up in.
All right, well, you all are fucking up my pick. But listen,
his childhood home's worth $1.2
Dude, he is the epitome of the American spirit.
yeah, that's right.
Because
that's right.
he fakes it so hard so that he can make more money off of all you poor
and
fucks.
he bangs porn stars.
Yes.
He raps. He does country. He does it all. He is the epitome of America. And that's all I'm going to say.
There's so many good ones, guys. I was going to start naming them off, but you're going to get upset. I'm going to go with military industrial complex. Because it is built America since we built. Oh, guys, we need to capitalize on Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer, fucking whatever bullshit right now. Because everybody's clicking on these videos and talking about Barbie and Oppenheimer. And that's what the fucking military industrial complex is built upon. Because we decided in World War II that we could fucking create this bomb faster than everybody fucking else. And now we are fucking number 1 because we created the bomb first. We dropped that shit without any fucking disregard for Japs. And here we are fucking on top because even though we have less than Russia, but they're fucking better and whatever. But when I think of America, I think of our fucking ability to go kick some ass. Now, yes, I hear Toby Keith singing in the background. And yes,
try that in a small town.
Oh, God damn it. So when I'm talking about military industrial complex, I am not just talking about the atomic bomb. I'm not talking about just fucking having the most sophisticated weapons and at all time choosing to use all of our tax dollars on military fucking might. I'm talking about the ability for our own individual constituents to be fucking physically armed as well. We fucking own guns like nobody's fucking business. We ourselves buy into the ability to throw all of our cash and money towards our tax dollars for military stuff, but not for social programs, because this is fucking goddamn America. And by God, we're going to protect our own in a small town, but by God, we're going to protect our own fucking 6 million miles away over in fucking Iraq and Afghanistan too. And we'll blow anybody's fucking head off because we fucking American.
We'll blow anybody.
We like guns. We like our guns.
No,
Second
we
Amendment.
like missiles. We like bombs. We like jackhammers. We like what are the fucking tanks? The
taxidermy deer heads.
Taxidermy deer heads.
Oh, all right. That's an okay pick. That's all right. It's a pick.
All right, my third pick in the goddamn American draft is going to be, I think nothing is more American than having garbage, greasy ass fast food. And I don't just mean fast food. I mean an assortment of anything you could want. McDonald's, Taco Bell, Fazoli's. We got Wendy's, Burger King. We got KFC.
Zaxby's.
No matter what kind of ethnicity
Chick-fil-A.
and culture you have, we have taken it and appropriated it to this shitty fast food, greasy, carb-loaded, diarrhea-inducing food that you can get for on the $1.99 menu now.
Yeah,
The prices
that menu
have been,
sucks.
Okay,
you can eat it You can eat at a sit-down restaurant for cheaper than McDonald's these days.
Right,
And it's ridiculous.
but
That's un-American.
But no matter what, you can go through a drive-through and get heart disease and diarrhea all in one sitting.
Guaranteed.
And you are good to go. That's the most American thing to me is that I don't have to get off my ass. I can literally walk. The only thing I have to do is walk into my garage and sit down into my car, drive all the way down to like 3 different fast food restaurants, collect them, make myself an assortment of a McGangbang, and then just fuck my face with this food.
I don't even have to get up off my ass. I just have to get up off my ass.
I sit in my hover around and load myself up.
Dude, mobility scooters is on my list.
See, the thing is you don't even have to do that because we have Uber Eats where we're saying that sounds like way too much work to go out there and get all that.
I'll spend $30 for them to break me.
I'll spend
$5 meal from McDonald's.
The doors are locked. Can you come on in?
I'll spend double the
I'll pay
amount.
you more if you chew it for me.
Yeah, just bring it and put it on my doorstep.
Mama bird it to me.
The only problem with that pick is we've done such a good job that other countries have taken that.
Yeah.
So like you go to Mexico, they've got Taco Bell.
Yeah, but it's all our versions.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's not their own version of fast food.
It's
true.
our
They just said
fast food.
we'll take what America's done and we'll just franchise it.
It's true. It's true. Our culinary skills have reached other countries. So that's a good pick.
What I think is like interesting is when you go to different countries, you think of like Italian food, or you think of Chinese food, or you think of like
my heritage.
Yeah, when I think of American food, besides burgers and hot dogs, I think of fast food, like just shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
What else is American food?
Barbecue.
Steaks, barbecue,
deep fried funnel
Barbecue.
cake.
Cake in the
You ever had a burger with 2 donuts as the bread? Yeah, that's American food.
I'll like it. All right, for my 4th pick, the final pick for me in the draft is going to be nothing more American than wearing exercise clothes when you're not fucking exercising. And what I mean by that is you're probably getting fatter and fatter and doing nothing. You want to make it easier to grab at your crotch and grab at your balls and stretch those balls out and give them a little rub and tug every once in a while. So nothing better and nothing more American than wearing exercise clothes to not exercise at all.
Yoga pants.
Has anyone ever worn sweatpants with the intention of sweating?
Yeah.
Because I don't think so.
That does not sound enjoyable.
if you're
Go
gonna
watch Seinfeld in the 90s. They had sweatpants all the time.
But that's not the thing. Is like you don't wear sweatpants because you're going to go exercise. You wear sweatpants because you want to sit on the couch
'Cause you're cold.
and watch
You
some
wanna be comfy
TV.
and
Yeah, you
warm.
want to watch some TV. Ain't nobody sweating in sweatpants.
I don't wear sweatpants at all because I have a
I'm not
whole
talking
phobia about
sweatpants.
it,
I'm
but-
talking basketball shorts. I'm wearing them right now.
Right.
Basketball shorts.
Why don't you just go ahead and say
I'm
elastic
talking-
waistbands?
Okay, just
that's what it is.
elastic clothing. Everybody wears elastic clothing because it's stretchier for your fat gut and your fat ass.
You don't have to worry about how much you gained overnight.
You don't want your belt to be cut into your fat gut, is what I'm saying. So otherwise, you just wear your stretchy clothes. You're good to go. It's going to accommodate whatever you add on to yourself throughout the day. And then also when you need to do anything, it's easy access.
You don't think other countries have like invented the elastic waistband?
No, they haven't. But my experience is I'm very cultured is when you go there, they wear exercise equipment to exercise. Otherwise, they wear better clothing and then it looks nicer. At
That
least
doesn't make
in
sense
Italy
to
they
me
do.
because even in Italy, of course.
But that's where I mean.
But here's my thing: is I don't think that anyone.
No, I was told I could not wear basketball shorts when I wanted to go hike because, or not hike, but walk up and down the fucking, like the like Positano and
Aroma.
Stuff like that.
I just can't understand. I can't understand anyone wearing jeans or slacks around the house. That just does not register with me.
When I was a child,
You
regardless
ever
of
had
where
an
you
old
are.
person in your life?
have you ever had old people?
Old people, dude.
Did your
wear
people or your
the-
PP or
That's
whatever?
because they weren't alive when like this became a thing. It's not
nobody
because
invented
they're
it.
They've never been
it's not
comfortable
because
in
they're
their
not
life.
cultural. It's not because they're not cultured. It's because they just didn't
They've
know
always
that
had
was
to
an
dress
option.
up.
Grandfather used,
Right.
grandfather used to
yeah.
sit around his apartment wearing a suit. He
Yeah,
sat his
he
ass
did.
wearing a full
That's
suit.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Button-up
that's
shirt. Yeah,
that's fair.
So I'm just saying. I think I know I'm not against it. I love being fat and just wearing comfortable clothes all the time. I don't know. That's just me.
That's fair.
Whatever. It's a shit pick. It's fine. It's my fourth pick. It's fine. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Y'all know much more about America. Go on.
All right. All right.
Go on.
Brian, wrap it up with your fourth pick.
Oh, God. I'm so mad. Why I'm not wearing my
We're so American.
Where's
We're
my
so
elastic
American.
waistbands? With the last pick in the draft for Brian Powell, I'm going to go with Sweet Tea, because you can get it anywhere, everywhere. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, they taste delicious, but guess what? Nobody makes it better than Mama. Mama make it at home, and it's real sweet, because she put 2 cup, 3 cup in it. She don't care. She say, right, your teeth out. It don't matter. We ain't drinking no regular tea in Britain land. We gonna drink it sweet. It's gonna taste good. Every little best drip.
You know, there was a part where I was like, you know what? I need to ease myself out of soft drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you went sweet tea.
Just adjust the sweet tea.
Half the time, sweet tea is worse. It's more sugar.
You went from opioids to heroin.
Yeah.
You thought you were saving yourself.
Better.
I thought I was
I
curing
just thought because
myself.
I liked sweet tea less that this was a better option just to ease it out. No.
No, I had diabetes.
Yeah, sweet tea.
But here's the thing, though: you're discarding the North, because the North of America. You go to like to Boston, New York. You get tea.
I said, I
They're
think I
like-
don't want to go to Boston.
They're not gonna give you a sweet tea.
Yeah, they're gonna throw that
They're
shit in
gonna
the
be
river.
like, well, there's some sweet and low. There's some sugar on the table. You're gonna have to make it yourself.
That
So,
is
I mean,
the
that's
most
part of
asinine.
America.
I've been to New York and Buffalo
We drank
and
some clam chowder.
Canada, and they had some sweet tea in
You
McDonald's.
gotta ask specific. Well,
I
McDonald's.
know I'm
yes,
not trying to
but-
get some sweet and low. I'm not trying to get cancer too. Then I won't be able to be taken care of.
Have
when I
you
live in
been to
America.
Buffalo more recently than we went to Buffalo to go to Niagara Falls back in like 2000 or 19, whatever it was?
Yeah, I went to Buffalo Trace not that long ago.
No,
That's just the other
Buffalo.
day.
You said you've been to Buffalo.
Oh, New York?
I don't believe that you tried to get a sweet
No,
tea. in
I haven't been
Buffalo.
past the Mason-Dixon line a long time.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right, so let's wrap this up. This is my last pick, guys. This is just hard for me because Lady Liberty's still out there.
Oh, wow.
And she's so American.
She's so French.
But here's the thing. She's not as American as fake boobs.
Oh.
There's nothing more American other than the other 3 picks that I made.
Wow. That's
Then-
quality.
Fake, but you see
Those are
a
the 3
woman.
that I
Listen,
said.
if you see a woman walk through the door and she's got a fake, she's got a fake rack. There's no confusion of what country she's from. She's American. She's got the silicone.
It's a white t-shirt, jeans, shorts, and boobs that don't move.
Yeah, I was like,
they
not an
don't
ounce
move.
of jiggle at all. Just
No, they just sit there
But
like
they're big.
they're balloons. You got some balloons. I'm sorry, Lady Liberty, you were close, but fake boobs is American.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
Dolly Parton
late
would
20,
tell you-
early 30 lady with a 50-year-old boyfriend who just paid for her fake boobs.
That's
Yeah,
America.
That's America.
That's democracy.
That's
We voted for that.
God bless America. God
Sugar
bless Dolly
daddy.
Parton.
I mean, that's just, you can't leave that off the list.
Yeah.
You can't leave that off the list. If you want to know if someone is from what country, if she has fake boobs, you don't have to ask. You know, she's from the US of A.
Dwight won.
So let's go. So we've got our picks. Let's get our guest speaker on the phone. Spencer Young, you are now on the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast. How are you doing?
What's up?
What's up, guys? I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Hey, are you a long-time listener, first-time caller?
Brian, get in the camera angle.
Sure am. I've been here since the beginning, guys. Proud to be here.
I don't appreciate you always voting for Dwight and all the bullshit. I don't think you actually like what he likes. I think you're just doing it to be a supportive brother, and I don't like it. Plus, you have 2 accounts that like his stuff, which is not fair.
He voted for Brian one week. I think he voted for
My
Brian. one week.
man.
Yes, I have voted for Brian before. Yes.
There you go.
So
not for
Spencer,
Justin.
here's the thing. We are doing our draft, as you are well aware of what our draft is. We're doing the most American
Yes.
things, the things that make you think of America the most. If
Okay.
you pick something that we have picked, you have to pick something else. But as I've told our viewers already, we picked you for this because 1, you served in the Air Force. 2, you have ran across the country, so you've seen a lot of America.
You've seen
that
more
we
of
have not seen.
America than all 3 of us put together.
So, but tell us what else. What else makes you qualified for this? What makes you qualified to tell us about what is the most American things?
Speaking of military, I am currently a flight instructor for the Air Force, so no longer in the Air Force in the military, but I spend all day, every day teaching the military how to fly their own airplanes. So,
whatever.
Yeah,
whatever. All right, whatever. All right. So here we go.
Whatever.
He's a hero. He protects our country, damn it.
Thank you for your service.
Give us your pick.
Not anymore.
And if you, like I said, if you pick something that we've picked, then we will let you know. It'll be like Family Feud where we'll go, and you've got to pick something else. And we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how you do.
I'll
We'll
just
see
do
if you
Steve
beat
Harvey
us.
eyes and I hope that you can feel them.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Okay.
So right along
How
for us.
many?
You got four. You got four.
How many
picks.
do I? 4. Okay.
But hey, when you pick one, let us tell you if we agree,
Yeah, we gotta riff on
disagree.
it.
We got to riff a little, just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's play with it.
Gotcha. Okay. So first off, I'm gonna go with. So you go to any country. First, you get off the plane. First thing you see that reminds you of America: McDonald's.
So,
Already
so
there.
someone said fast food, so that McDonald's gets tied in with that.
Fast food.
Yeah.
It's a good pick. It's a solid pick.
Yeah, a solid pick, though. Yeah.
That was a
Okay.
pick from Justin, by the way. Justin picked that.
You actually have that. You boys are legit now.
Try
You
again.
got
Try
sound
again.
effects. All right, try again. All right, I'm pretty sure this one's also already going to be taken. I got to go with American football. That's kind of the pastime.
College football was taken. That was another. You and
College
Justin.
football.
You and
Yep.
Justin are just on the same page
So
here.
if I don't get your fucking vote, I'm gonna be real pissed.
Yeah.
If I don't get your vote this week, I'm gonna be real pissed.
He's still gonna
Both of
vote
your
for me.
votes.
He's still
No,
gonna
I'm
vote
giving
for
me
me.
my own.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm voting for myself, guys.
Oh
true.
crap! Yeah, I forgot about that.
Good point.
You can't vote twice. That's not fair.
I feel like you have to vote for
Yeah, but-
Justin though, because your first two picks were
Yeah.
also his.
You're
picks.
right. You're right. Yeah, it's already leaning towards him. All right.
He's gonna
Think
have-
outside the
he's gonna
box,
have no
man.
picks. He's gonna have no
Again, I'm
picks.
pretty sure this is already going to be taken. But this is also uniquely American. Has to be made in America.
Pretty white
And
woman.
also has to be bourbon.
There, it's a good
Oh,
pick.
that's a good
Bravo.
pick. That'll
Good
work.
pick. That
That'll
one
work.
survived. Good pick and good recognition that it has to be made in America.
There you go. Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
no, solid pick. We
Not
can't, we
just
can't
not just
argue.
Kentucky. It has to be made in America.
You
Yeah.
got any favorites?
Yeah,
Spence?
Spencer, what's your favorite bourbon?
Dwight share with you at all?
We just reviewed for this podcast. We have reviewed George T. Stagg and Stagg Jr.
Ooh,
Delicious.
I have not had Stagg Jr. I've had the George T. Stagg, courtesy of Dwight Young. Also, pretty much all the best bourbon that I've had is because of Dwight.
He's sharing the good shit, brother.
All right,
well,
good pick. Good
Dwight
pick.
was also generous enough to share with me that William LaRue.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
That was really good stuff. That was amazing.
All right, solid first pick. All right, what do you got for the second?
All right. 4th of July.
Good pick. Not taken. Not
We
taken.
got some fireworks in
We
this.
have fireworks, but not
4th of
for
July.
July.
Wait to the picks. You can't tell them.
Wait, hold on. How can you go fireworks? That was invented by the Chinese.
Dude, thank you. That's exactly what I said. I said I think of China.
That was a Justin pick too, wasn't it? Did you pick fireworks?
Fireworks was a pick from me.
Dang, man. All over the place.
I don't give a damn what the Chinese did. We perfected it. I don't know how often they're blowing off shit to celebrate something. Actually, we're celebrating.
bigger.
Yeah, we're
Those
celebrating.
are big.
I would say Louisville, Kentucky, also having the largest fireworks show ever, every year. I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah.
But every year we're doing it. So I'm sorry. Fuck the Chinese. If you want to,
Fireworks so small.
no, that's fine. No,
Yeah.
the big peanut American peanut so
Hope
big.
this podcast isn't playing in China right now.
And that's fine. That's fine. If you want to be an airman for the United States of America and you're going to bend the fucking knee to China and Winnie the fucking Pooh Bear, then you have at it. You and Disney can go have at it. LeBron James, go bend the knee to fucking China. I'm not. Fireworks or USA.
China.
4th of July.
Hey, speaking of fireworks, fun fact, second to the military, the U.S. military, the highest purchaser of fireworks in America is Disney World.
That makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But you said more than the military? They buy fireworks?
No, second to the military. The highest the second highest purchaser of explosives in America is Disney World.
Explosives or fireworks? Because I can't imagine the military just being like, let's have a party every Saturday night.
This is where all our tax dollars go.
Yeah. All right. Good pick. All right. So you have 4th of July and you have bourbon. Those are 2 solid picks. So you're at a little bit of a disadvantage because obviously you can't pick the picks that we did.
You got 12 behind you.
So it's going to be interesting to see if any of our guest pickers can beat us. But all right. You got 3 and 4 left.
U.S. national parks.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Do you have a favorite?
Go to like the Grand Canyon or Yosemite or Yellowstone.
Never heard of
those. Those mountain peaks. Never even heard of them. Oh man,
no.
Have you been to Mount Rushmore? Did you run through Mount Rushmore?
I've been to Mount Rushmore, but I have not run through it. No, I did not. But I've been there. Honestly, underwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
interesting.
What about the Crazy Horse statue they're trying to build? Is it Crazy Horse or who is it? You know what I'm talking about?
It is Crazy. It is Crazy Horse. Also, Mount Rushmore is not a U.S. national park. It's a national monument. Fun fact. Okay, but
I thought it would be in a fucking park. I'm sorry. I thought it would be in a park.
Right. But Crazy Horse, yeah, dude. The Native Americans refused. The U.S. government was trying to help pay for them to finish it, and they were like, "F you, no."
So are national parks exclusive to America? Or do other countries not have national parks?
They do, but they don't prioritize the conservation of them as nearly as much.
Gotcha.
I will give you guys
and we got the coolest ones, dude.
If you
got the coolest ones.
We do. Yeah.
I'll give you 10 extra points if you guys can tell me the name of the president who made the first national park.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Trump.
You guys are way too late. Spencer, do you know?
Is that Donald Trump?
It's the best fucking president there ever was.
Abraham
do you know
Lincoln.
Donald Trump.
Roosevelt.
Which one?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Boom! Spencer knew. Teddy Roosevelt. Thank you very much. You get 10 extra points.
In conjunction with John Weir.
All right.
I can't hear you because Justin won't get off the damn button.
I thought if I clicked it off, it would go off, but it doesn't. It has to play through.
Jesus.
All right. Last
Dude,
pick.
Justin, you need to be a DJ. Dude, you're crushing it.
No pressure.
Let's do it.
No pressure. Last pick. You've got U.S. national parks. You have... I've already forgotten because they were so terrible picks. No, I'm just joking. You got bourbon. You have
4th of July.
How can you say bourbon is a bad pick?
No, it's good picks. You have good picks.
Yeah.
You have good picks.
It feels like
you're
kind of trying to appease the show, though.
Nah.
I feel like for people that watch it, bourbon's a big part of what we do.
He's a big national park guy.
All right, Spence, you got a solid number 4 for us.
Last pick, Spencer. What do you got?
Solid number 4. This is a solid one for me, but it gives me a lot of pride every time I see the movie and every time I think about it. No, February 22nd, 1980 Winter Olympics, the Miracle on Ice, the underdog American hockey team.
It's good. It's a good pick. Yeah. Didn't even think about that. Good pick. It's hard to pick that for me because I was not alive and I've never seen it, and I'm sure it's cool. I just didn't experience that.
Yeah.
We beat the Canadians. Is that what it was?
Soviet Union, Russia.
Oh, I thought we beat those bastards to the north. All right, I got you.
Good picks. All right,
solid,
Spencer.
Man.
All right, so
anybody ever play Vice City, Grand Theft Auto?
No.
I don't know. There's on the commercial they go through and they talk about previous wars. And it's back in World War III when we whooped Australia's ass. Like that.
Fucking
all right, Spencer. So we'll add you to the graphic and we'll see if you can beat us. So let's give you what our picks were, and then you tell us who you think had the best between the three of us.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, Brian, you go first. I'll go second. Justin, go third.
I wish I could remember them all.
Yeah, because you just picked like 10 of them.
The number 1 pick, obviously, is Texas Deerheads. Did you get that?
Yes. I think you can hear it.
Texas Deerheads. I had what was number 2? Oh, measuring things in feet instead the imperial system instead of the standard system.
I forgot that's what it's called.
I think the military industrial complex was number 3. And number 4 was
Healthcare.
like jumping off of medical insecurity, sweet tea, Thanksgiving, and wrestling.
No, you gotta pick
It
one.
was sweet tea. Wait,
It was sweet tea. We gave you sweet tea.
I'll take sweet tea.
All right. I had Bald Eagle.
Solid.
I had hot dog eating competition. I had Kid Rock. And I had fake boobs.
Solid picks.
I think number 4 took
See,
that.
that's not a uniquely American thing.
What isn't?
Oh, it is. It's
Fake
very.
boobs.
Oh, dude, yes, they are. If you see someone walk in with fake boobs, you know immediately that they are American.
Trust me, if you go to Europe, itty bitty
There's
titty
nothing-
committee everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
Well, that's
Everywhere. There's nothing more American than silicone.
And they're not even ashamed of it. Like they're okay with having these tiny little mosquito breasts.
Yep. You gotta fill them up. Here in America,
Fill 'em up.
here in America, A cups, bottom shelf.
Yep.
Double D's, top shelf.
Yep.
Top. All right,
straight.
Daniel Tosh.
All right.
All right, my 4 picks were first off. I had the my first one was shooting off fireworks, but it wasn't just 4th of July. I picked any goddamn time you want, and like anytime, all the time. Nobody needs to be complaining about it. Get a better dog, all that kind of stuff. Like people complain about their animals, pissing themselves or whatever because of fireworks. You need a better dog. America is built on fireworks. Second off, I went to the pick of college football, which you picked, so that's a great pick.
That was a great pick.
Okay. Then I went on
in
to
that order too, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I went on to pick a garbage fast food, which is also what you picked.
Yeah.
I encompassed everything: McDonald's, Taco Bell, Fazoli's, whatever your ethnicity, whatever your culture, we've got it covered. You can get it biggie sized anywhere you want. And then finally, my last pick was, I think I had to switch it up, but I went with gym clothes. While not exercising, while being a fat ass, you can grab your nuts, pinch it off, whatever you need to do, but you're not breaking a sweat. What you're doing is probably stuffing your face and enjoying life.
I mean, I got to go with Brian or Justin.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right. There we go. That's what I'm
you or
fucking
him
talking
are the same
about.
way.
It was a lie.
Oh wait, no,
I do. I
that was a lie.
mean, you stole like 3 of mine.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, Spencer, thank you for joining us on Now We Can Talk Like Men. Like and subscribe and follow, share with your friends.
Join us when you're physically in person, not in Colorado smoking weed or whatever the hell you're doing out there.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on.
I would love to.
I'd
All
love
right,
to smoke weed
gentlemen.
with you and Joe Rogan. Let's do it.
All right. Have a good one. We'll see you
All right,
later.
see you guys. Bye.
All right. That was our draft. Thanks for joining us, guys. Justin, why don't you close us out?
All right, as always,
Why
thank you
can't
to
I?
each and every single one of you for tuning in, for hitting the video. Smash that freaking like button, subscribe, share with your friends, share it out to whoever, see if they like any of our picks as well. If you could, make sure you do that. Share it, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter or X. I don't know what you want to call it now, but you can follow us on Twitter or X at NWCTLM. And then you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff at Now We Can Talk Like Men. If you want to follow us individually, we have all these listed down here below, but you can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. You can follow him at Dwight NWCTLM. And of course, you can follow him at BBowls90 on Twitter. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for this one. We'll see you all next time.
Love you guys.
Did you really just say that we have a TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the least American thing ever.